wonderful day. It's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful day. We had a good play on LAC. If you were watching Watchlist or here after hours yesterday. So we got to maneuver it with options here. That's pretty much been the only action, except for a little bit of a staple rotation. There was really strong real estate data. New home sales came in 20% higher on the month versus an estimate of like pretty much been the only action, except for hello. But yeah, so either way, we're chilling. It's kind of like yesterday, straight down, but low volatility. I'd watch this staple dynamic. That's probably going to either lag or lead here into the end of the day. We are waiting on a couple more Fed people and then more Fed and data the next couple days. And I think by Friday, PCE, that'll add to credibility or not, because today's data did not really speak credibility with such a strong real estate market, or at least new home sales. Other than that, there was even a headline on like G7 discussing taxes on China rare earths and putting a floor. Some of them got a pop. And then, like I said, LAC and that government stake, the government didn't deny it. So you're just waiting for, just like Intel, just like MP. If the government approves it, that's going to be really good. If that's true, if not, it's going to get clapped. So be wise. I already gave you a nice make it free 500 to a couple 100% and some shares, baby. So finger to the sky. And now we Philo, my brothers. We Philo. So I'm going to go get ready. I'll get my my Philo there. And yeah, you know, I think I'm going to make you watch the old video again. I think I'm going to make you watch real estate propaganda. Let me see. I got to find it again. Yes. And that was that was loud. Look, I keep hearing real estate bubble. Yes, you are seeing the prices go up. Again, this video is from 2021, might I add. So if I sound different, that's cool, but just notice what happened with the world. Thank you. Hearing about all these bidding wars, but there's a lot of doom and gloom around it. You've just seen Bitcoin go down. You've seen what's happened with tech stocks, but a lot of people are saying, hey, real estate, this is a bubble. It's unsustainable. Wait till the forbearances come. They're talking about commercial real estate dropping, all of this stuff, but I would rather let history be a teacher. And if you guys watched last weekend's video about inflation and what happened since the 70s, you will notice a very specific trend here with real estate. And why I'm bringing this up, because we are going through the same thing here today. And I don't want people to miss out on these opportunities. Now, I'm not saying go and overbid on everything. Obviously, you have to do your research. And even with the conclusion of this video I'm gonna give you, the biggest thing to understand here is that you really notice the effects in about 5 to 10 year periods. So real estate is a long-term investment. Yes, there is an opportunity to flip. I will probably even make another video here because I'm gonna go look at some flip properties today and I want to see if I could show you it, but I wanted to get this out here first. But as long as you put yourself in a position to hold property for 5 to 10 years, you will be very, very good. Even around, I think 2007 or 2000, they said it, real estate is a escalator to wealth. I mean, this is a good thing to be getting here, especially when you see what's going on. So I want to make sure you guys know what's going on, but I really want you to see what happened in the real estate market before and the similarities we're seeing here today. The number one thing I want to get right off the bat here is pricing in. This is the phenomena that you hear about a lot. When you see the price of something go up and then you kind of find the reason, you're like, oh yeah, okay, this is going to be a good investment because of this reason. Where this really happens in the stock market is Christmas. This is like the Santa Claus rally. So pretty much everybody, when they first get into stocks, they're like, oh yeah, well, companies are going to sell a lot on Christmas because people buy gifts. That's the logic. That's the idea. And then people use that to buy this stock. Now, what the unsophisticated investor is usually not aware of is that they're not the only person who believes that. And really what tends to happen in the stock market, the people getting ready for Christmas and New Year's, they started buying the stock in September and October, pricing that in. So if you want to buy it a week before Christmas, 2 weeks before Christmas, chances are it's priced in. Now, that is what's happening with real estate. What I'm trying to say with this is that I am not the only person who's known this and has known this. If you see what's going on, a lot of people are buying real estate for a reason. So when you see these bidding wars and you see people willing to pay this much for houses, you really have to ask yourself why. The point is, most people are seeing what's going on and they're willing to pay this because they're pricing something in. Now, in that same logic, this is also what you got to be careful of when it comes to buying real estate or looking at it, because you don't want that future gains priced in too high. However, like I said, if you're planning to hold this house for even beyond 1 or 2 years, you will see why that's not really the case. And this is why I'm trying to say here, it seems like a lot of people are talking down on real estate and all of this, but a lot of the underlying factors are all pointing to real estate being very, very good in the next 10, 15 years without any stopping in between. So do not be fooled when you are seeing a massive amount of activity and you're seeing people paying a certain price for these properties. They're doing it for a reason. And now on top of all of this, you have a unique situation with real estate at this time that we did not see at the other time in history, and this has to do with a supply crisis. There is not enough homes available. So yes, I am looking at this for the 5 and 10 year with real estate. I do think that people are pricing in stuff right now, and it's not all the way priced in. Some may be priced in. However, I think everybody is lying about real estate when they start saying it's going to crash and all this, because when you look at this situation, it's not going to be that the forbearances come back or a bunch of foreclosures and then now, oh man, people are worried. It's because right now there are just not enough homes available. So you can see here, this is just the number of homes for sale since 2019. You're watching all of these crazy price moves, but you'll notice this is down over 50% already. So this is the main point here, because of a lot of people say, oh, well, we could be in a real estate bubble, and that may be true. In 2008, you had over leveraging, you had all of this. It's a lot harder to qualify today. However, I could see how people might argue that, but now the real big part is there is just simply not enough houses. The supply and demand, you could double the amount of houses available, and that would bring you just to how many houses we had in 2019 or 2018. The point is, you cannot really have a bubble until you get this supply. That was early, bro. Anyways, yeah, man. I did not know I would be getting a farm. That's crazy. They were, in fact, lying. The child. Puberty. I was a baby, bro. Isn't that crazy? I think it's it speaks to today's Philo, bro. I think it's very humbling. Because I hope when that young, annoying voice hit your ears, I hope you were wise enough to listen. Because if it really plays out like I thought when I made the video, that video is going to be insane every year we go back to it. Like I'm saying, just looking at it now and looking at that moment a couple months, bro, into it, to have that vision, are you fucking kidding me? I'm sorry to toot my own horn, but I'm really not, because I really do praise the Lord. And I think it helped a lot of people. I think of those of you who watched at the right time before YouTube started fucking us, bro. That was like right when it started. That was like on the back end. That's why not all of you got to watch that video. You see what I'm saying? Like, it was right after Biden. They just destroyed my channel. That's it. They just started cutting everything off, banning us. I was getting for the vaccine, playing Trump, and all of that. So I don't take credit for all. I give it to God, bro, and I think it helped a lot of people. And that's in the moment, bro. That's like 6 to 9 months noticing the supply, noticing history, being able to, without even being as crazy as I was, being able to go against the narrative of what people were saying. And again, if that was a life changer. That was a big difference. Again, even if you acted small, it would have been crazy. Isn't that nuts? So God bless, bro. God bless, and God is good. You know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and gals, how you living? Ooh, how you feeling? God is good, brother, and you better expect something good. You know that? Have you noticed I've been waking up with that? I always have, Chad, but I think it's time I start reminding you. That's why I'm excited. I'm excited for the pruning. You know that? I'm so glad. It's sad because I wish all of you were with me, and I do wish all of you could be a part of it. But again, just there's a reality, brother. The harvest is plenty, the workers is few. Like, he just wasn't lying, And I appreciate when I'm talking to people. I like talking to the small group of workers. You know why? Because I could say those things in the morning and you understand. I'm telling you, expect something. Get ready. I want you to wake up with good things that are going to come to you. Do you not understand how the immature mind, if they hear that, they're going to get let down when nothing happens right away? If all you want is immediate gratification, those words aren't going to serve you. Oh, but if you're locked in, bro, and you have been, and you've been gently, gradually rising and taking those steps, bro, oh, you should hear it. And I know it should, and I want you to repeat it, and I want you to ingrain it into your brain for my brother. This is that fuel that is going to provide more and more for you. Go ahead, let a fool not understand it. What do you mean? Why you expect something? Motherfucker, it could be a drought every single day, and I will not see a drop of rain, and every day I will wake up and praise the Lord and say, thank you for the rain, it's coming. You don't feel me. That we can't, that's it. If you agree with me and you know what I'm saying, my brother, let's go. And I hope you realize it's time to remind you. And I hope you do wake up with that attitude. My brother, you are in a select few. Not everybody likes to wake up early, let alone have this mindset along with everything else. And now you're thinking, let's go. You're now bring it to life, brother. Time to make reality what it is. Make it what you want. I want that word. I want that phrase, that thought in your mind. That's really we're waking up in overdrive now, brother. You wake up in drive. You control the first thought. But I come into the place of work, brother. I expect something good today. Something good is gonna happen. Do you understand me? Game time. Oh, yeah. So rejoice, brother. Rejoice. 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 Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, many reasons to rejoice. But sorry, I just had to let that one fly. I didn't even write that down. I just love you. But it's Philo time. So if you don't want to hear Jesus, you don't want to hear talks like that, then don't be here. Like I'm saying, I'm not trying to bother you. But I'm not trying to change what I say. I mean, we already did enough stock. I mean, there's not really any plays here. So if you did wake up early before I started ranting about Jesus, you would have made 500%. So do you see where we're at in the day? There's not really much going on. Actually, Marvel, hold on. Wait, never mind. Marvel, what the fuck is that? That's 5%. Again, they had their buyback. I don't know if they're going to be at the NVIDIA one, but this is what I was telling you, where I'm like, yeah, during Philo, we might even get like some of these movements. So that's like the good part. I don't know if you're down with that, but yeah, Marvel, bro, 6%. There's only like, I haven't played one of these in a while. Yeah, I don't know. They might go. Yeah, the chain is very deep and it was already up 5%. But yeah, so listen to what we're doing, Jesus, all that. Please only listen if you want to. I say that as a friend, not as anything else. I'm just genuinely, I like peace. I like controlling my mind, my thoughts, all of that shit. So I wouldn't want to make it harder for you or be a stumbling block. And like I'm saying, we're going to do stocks just like that. If shit comes up, we'll do it. But we don't need to force it. And everybody's here because they want to be. Yeah, that premium... Honest, I don't know if you could do the cheapies. The cheapies won't work. I'd say go near the money if you're going to do it. I see a cheapie, but I don't know if that has juice. Okay, so you guys are taking it, but they're not moving. They jacked up the out of the monies are weird. Yeah, and then the spread. Go near the money, and I don't even know what the fucking headline is. So, you got to figure that one out, too. All right. But yeah, like I'm telling you, we'll do stocks if it's something breaking in like a 7% move. I'll stop saying what I'm saying and I'll react. We still have the news. I put up a news wire so you could help me or assist if I miss anything. And then other than that, yeah, well, I hope you could listen. And that no argument. This isn't a debate. Even if you agree with me, I'm not trying to do that. I truly want you to listen. So God bless you all, man, and make this profitable. And let me find that headline on Marvel. Marvel's been again. They had the buyback news in the morning. That's why I just don't know what it is. But that was a 4% pop. $3 is not. That's huge. Most of the gain is right there. CPA exam. Oh, let's go, baby. It's you and Mr. Fahad. The tax guy's in the chat. And then Rigetti. All right. So, where do I start today? I already gave you a little one there, but I do have the main point. Yeah, I got a lot of good ones to talk about. But let me start with, I'll start with the deep one. I'll start with another esoteric. I'll start with another analogy. This one's not that crazy though. So that's good. But I think very relatable. And very, very, very applicable. You guys know one of my favorite stories in the Bible. I've read it with you. Uncles put it in a song. You ever hear about keeping oil in the lamps? Does that sound familiar? There's a Jesus tells this story. He says the kingdom of heaven is like this group of women to go meet the king bride, and they have to go on a journey. Then they fill their lamps with oil, and then half of them prepare for the journey, the other half don't. And then they get there, and then the door's locked. And then the ones who prepared were let in, the ones who weren't didn't. Ta-da! Yeah, keeps them. You've heard that, right? Well, I love that story. I think it's a very easy story. It's not, even though it is a parable, I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist to understand it. So, what's going on with it? What do you think that could mean on a deeper brain level? And this is important because I think it even relates. I've even asked you guys a lot of questions in regards to this. And we've had a Philo on this. And I think it's very crucial. But now I want you to think about your brain. Yeah, it means be prepared, but what about your brain? I'll just give it to you, man. You know what no oil in the lamp is a description of? Do you want to know what that could be analogous to? And this, I think, is crucial. This is why I'm saying, think every morning, and then even down to your goals with the long term. Even what I told you the other day about the pineal gland. What Mr. Rene Descartes will say about the pineal gland. My brother, the oil in the lamp, that is a description of desire in your mind. Oh, do you understand me? You think it is preparation, and the Lord is telling you to prepare. You could read the analogy one way. It's true, as is. But I want you to look at the oil, the lamp, being your desire. Again, you could tell me you're prepared in many ways and this and that, but what are you desiring right now? Do you see what I'm saying? Both from when you wake up, like again, when you buy a Play, dude, what do you want out of it? What is the real desire? Why are you gonna buy Tap over a Target? Why are you gonna buy Tap over Nvidia? It's not about the market, dude. It is, but it isn't. Do you get what I'm saying? You got to really think about your true desire. What are you looking to accomplish? In that analogy of meeting the bridegroom, think about it. You really genuinely desired to meet the king, my brother. You're going to prepare. The story works in so many ways. But I'll tell you this. Think about every day in life. I've been requesting a lot of you. I said, go sit in a dark room, be silent. Give me 30 minutes. Turn off the computer, get free thought, no influence. Don't listen to these people. Tell me what happens. And people, it's hard. That's a hard ask. Even every day, bro. This is why I'm saying, right when you wake up, you better know what your first thought, you are the commander of it. Because I don't know if you get it or if you see it. Most of our mind and energy, our oil, our desire, we are spending it combating the lower mind, the basic stuff, the fear, the doubt, the anxiety. Oh, what am I? Oh, I got to do this. Oh, what about that? I don't feel good. Do you get what I'm saying? Again, bro, if I asked you right now, turn off everything. Go into a room and pray and meditate. No sound, no nothing. Like peace. True, like solitude in a joyful manner, bro, with the Lord. What would you tell me no to? Where are you going to spend that desire oil? Because I know you're going to say, yeah. You're either going to really do it or you're not. And most of it, I got to do this. I got to do this. I can't do that. I don't have time for this. Think about it. Those are all lower mind. I don't think there's anything pressing. Sadly, I don't care. And again, your life may depend on it in some instances, but it doesn't. I'm saying, what is more important than meeting with God? What is more important than using my highest of mind? You ask me, I know the answer to that. That's why I enjoy doing it. That's why I was saying, it's like I turn things off. I will go and do that. But again, the oil in the lamp, my brother, it is your preparation. It is your longevity, your endurance. But it's also desire. Oh, it's going to relate to the next one too, but desire. Again, Descartes said the pineal lights up, bro, when you want something. Y'all playing with me. I love God, and I want more God, and I hope you do too, and I look forward to the blessings. But even without God, some of you need to learn to desire. Do you understand me? One, you should stop running away from God so hard. I mean, because that's the answer. You know it too. But at the end of the day, if you're going to keep playing that game, that's fine. But start desiring something, and desire something good and worthy of you and your calling, and mainly your purpose. I hope y'all feel me. Desire. And you could tell me about preparing, my friend, but part of that preparation, I mean, desire is going to factor into it. I would argue your desire is making you prepare more or less. Truly. And just think about the thoughts, how much energy, how much of your desire are you spending just battling useless conversations in your head? Because I do, again, before I learned how to get around this, again, my mind is always racing, bro. I have a lot of stuff going through my head. But a lot of it was wasted energy. You don't get it? What happens in the story, brother? What happens in the same story? They go to meet the king, they get their oil, and then before they go out on the second part of the journey, what happens to the bridegrooms? Anybody know? So before we find out who had enough oil or desire, what happened? Oh, y'all don't feel me, bro. They fell asleep. Literally in the story, they fall asleep, my brother. Can I tell you something? There's nothing wrong with falling asleep. What? Yeah, it's natural, brother. I hate to break it to you. That whole going to sleep is part of life. That's like an aspect of life. It's a main aspect of life. You don't get it. Even Jesus knew it. The Bible knew it. My brother, that's how the mind is. It does not stay constant on, focused on one thing 100% of the time. Even your mind must rest, brother. And your mind goes places. You could be very fixated on the goal for 1 year, 2 year, 10 year, and at various periods you will fall asleep. That's why, depending on your true desire, you're gonna wake yourself back up, and as you're prepared, and you're gonna go along and meet the bride, meet the groom. Do you get it? Again, yes, even at the transfiguration, it's part of life. I think what some of y'all need to start learning to understand yourself and prepare better is realize you are gonna fall asleep again, brother. That means you are on a goal right now, and for some period, you're gonna be overworked, overexhausted, and you're gonna rest. What matters is what you do after that rest and in between. Do you get what I'm saying? How you handle that and the desire. I hope you have desire when you sleep. I hope you have desire when you wake up. Do you understand? And there you have it. So, all in all, this is just your little intro. But keep some oil in the lamps. Don't lose your desire. Don't lose everything else too, you know, about that story. But use your energy wisely, Chad. That's what I'm talking about lately. That's why some of these, I'm like, bro, you're up a certain amount, you're doing certain things. Why are you complicating stuff? Again, that's why it's never enough. But what are you spending your energy thinking on? And I hope you realize, if we are all going to get tired and go to sleep and do these things, and it's a constant battle and renewal, my brother, are you using your energy wisely? Your mind energy. That's what I'm talking about. Bro, those meditations, the prayer, the Bible, you want to let that rise to your highest self. Use your full mind, brother. Stop wasting the energy dealing with the lower mind, dealing with all the, again, dealing with no desire. What do you want? What do you desire? The desire will trigger the higher mind. To keep desiring and keep focusing rather than worry, rather than fear. Again, think about the energy you're putting into both time and, again, what are you stressed about right now? Tell me, what are you afraid of right now? But why? If you're going to be afraid, but I would stop wasting energy on being afraid. So think about it. So that's the first part. The second part, this one's, I like this a lot too. And I think it does have to do with energy. And whether, you know, just using it wisely, man. So I'm saying just something about being conscious, intentional. Focus on Christ. Focus on the Christ within you. I'd rather put my mind energy towards that than it's kind of crazy. Because you get a better benefit for yourself. But the next part, before I give you the main thing, I kind of have a sad reality check about planning. And I think we all need to have plans and goals, and our long term, that's a plan, baby. And planning is amazing. And it is good. But can I remind you that your purpose is more important? And actually, everything was made for a purpose. And if it was made for a purpose, it's already in there. Do you understand? Let me put it this way. The fish didn't have to go to swim class to learn how to swim. The bird didn't go to flight school, and the tree didn't have to go to a seed planting convention to become a tree. It's already inside, like Intel. Do you get it? That's what I mean, purpose. Again, I think some of you have stuff that to you is so easy. You have, again, I didn't need to teach you. Nobody needs to teach you. You have something in you. Again, I'd rather focus your mind energy thinking about that than thinking of dumb ideas, of gambling, of being worried about Republican and Democrat, being, I don't know what it'd be. Well, I could have made this much if I put all my money on Okla, whatever. Think about it. I'd rather give me the mind energy for the purpose. Because you find the purpose, you're going to find that little gift that's built inside of you already. That's what I want you to discover. That's where I'm like, yo, that's a cheat code. Imagine you were a bird this whole time, but you didn't know you could fly. I'm like, bro, nobody has to even teach you. Watch, jump. Again, the swim is inside of the fish, bro. You get it? I'll tell you something. This one, there's more to it. So don't take this as the only part of it. But you want to know how you could find some of your purpose? Like I said, it's a hard question. Oh, but the more you think about it, brother, you're going to get the answer, because that's where you're using your mind power. That's why I hope you think about it more than I just talk about it, because then you ain't going to get shit. Think about it. Really think about it. Really think about your purpose every day, even if you don't know, but thinking about what it is and having the desire to find it, brother, you'll get closer every single day. Yeah, I'll tell you. What makes you angry is part of your purpose. Let me put it this way. There's things in this world that I don't like and that I probably could help, but I just don't really care. You know why? They don't make me mad enough. And there you have it. My brother, we were just saying, learn about yourself. No condemnation. Some of you don't even like to look at the anger inside of you because anger's bad. My brother, what if I told you anger could show you your purpose? I don't think you should live in anger, and I think anger will destroy you, as the word in our Lord will tell you. Clouds your mind. An angry mind is not a good mind. It doesn't work the same way. But do you understand what I'm telling you as far as why? Think about what's naturally inside of you. We all have something that pisses us off, wouldn't you agree? I think from the most stoic to not, everybody in here, you got one thing, topic, whatever it may be, something really pisses you off. Tell me I'm lying. Or you're lying, trying to act like you don't get pissed off. My brother, you don't get pissed off at the innocent murdering. You see the children. You see what we do to each other in this country, overseas. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You all got something you pissed off about. Don't live in it. That's fine. But do you understand where it's like that could show you your purpose? Because my brother, the things you're really mad about, and if you're mad about something enough, you'll change it. And the fact that that anger about that topic is inside of you, that means you're kind of connected to it probably more than you think. So I don't think anger is good. But if I was going to look at anger as a seed, an equivalent seed of success as it is bad, that's what it would tell me. It would tell me the areas in my life that I really care about. Or it would say, I'm angry. I would want to fix things, but I'm not motivated. Anger is a type of energy. It's a motivation. It's a dark energy. You see, it's not good, but that will point you in an area you care about. So, like I said, there's more to finding your purpose than just getting mad. But, if you're wise enough, I think you know what I'm saying. You'll learn that what makes you angry is part of your purpose. But then this is where I'm saying, why is this important? Because your purpose, my brother, that's the bad part. Because although I believe in hard work and a lot of planning and everything, you need to do that. And you need to make sure all of your planning aligns with your purpose, because I hate to break it to you, but purpose will override planning. That is a principle of life. It's just how it operates. I mean, think about it. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but the Lord's purpose prevails. Every translation, brother, purpose. Dude, again, plans, right there, from the word. We have plans. Plan. Planning isn't bad. A fool wouldn't plan. Isn't that ironic? That the God tells you to plan. He says if you don't plan, you're a fool. but you could plan all you want, but it don't matter because God has a purpose. Welcome to the cross. Welcome to the contradiction. Live in it. Don't be afraid of it. Learn the balance. Learn to find the kingdom, my brother. Walk in the light. You can't not have a plan, but you can't not have a purpose, brother. Somewhere in between plan and purpose is you. Right where it crosses, that's probably you, brother. It's probably you. But this is why I'm saying you should see what gets you excited, what gets you angry, what is your purpose. I hope you haven't forgot about this. Because we have a lot more planning and a lot more work to do, and you better keep doing it. But I need you to work for yourself. I need you to work for the Lord. And that you can't do that by working against your purpose, because that means all of this planning you're doing now, if it goes against your purpose, my brother, it goes out the window. You know that, right? It's a waste of time. Hate to break it to you. That's why. How many of us have gone through life, we did something for a couple years, only to end up doing the exact opposite? My brother, I have a degree in philosophy and political science. I don't do shit related to that. You might think I'm doing Philo now, but not really. I'm not a politician. I just talk a lot of shit. So what? Again, I had a plan. I think my purpose, God had something else for me. Same thing. You're going to go through things in your life. I'm sure you've met people. I had a different plan when I met some people. God had a different purpose. My brother, I had a different plan when I got to YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I got to a different plan when I got to YouTube. I had a whole plan. And then it started developing. I had a plan. My brother, God had a purpose. It didn't matter what my plan was. That's what I'm saying. Even with all of y'all in here, I think it's funny. The long term is funny because it's a great plan, but if it don't work with God's purpose, it's useless. But then again, I would argue and say, look, I think it does. Let his will be done, my brother. I hope it's for good. I hope we could end poverty. Poverty gets me mad. You guys don't see it? I get mad at rich people continuingly to oppress and keep everybody down. I don't like it. And y'all think I'm some rich guy, and I am blessed, but motherfucker, you have no idea. If I had Nancy Pelosi's house, motherfucker, what are you saying? If I had Maxine Walters, you think I got a $50 million crib, dog? What is wrong with you? What are you thinking of right now? Do you not understand? And then I see these people on Wall Street, and then you see, oh, come on. So yeah, purpose. I think the long term too, we will help. But above all else, man, plan and purpose. Plan and purpose. You can't forget. And that's why I'm saying, bro, I don't want you to make a plan that goes against your purpose. And that's part of the alignment. Like I'm saying, man, the more you align to, oh yeah, even better. Wait. Hold on. Getting a phone call. Wait, give me a sec. Usually calls during Philo are emergencies. Please hold. All right, we're good. I think. So yeah. No news on Quantum yet. Nothing really happened. You got a little Philo bounce. And then you had that one serve thing from earlier. They're going to be at the NVIDIA event. But yeah, man, this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Are you ready? This is my final one for Philo. And I think it's a good one. And I think all of you could get something out of this. And I don't care what you believe. And although I am going to tie this into God, I think this is a very, very, very practical thing in life that I think a lot of you need to embody a little bit more. And some of you have experience in it, but you now need to do it for positivity and the light. What? What I'm talking about is being shameless. My brother, how would you describe shameless? What would be the traits of a shameless person? Do you know what shameless is? Why would I tell you to be more shameless? Oh, my brother. When you have no shame, we know it when it's bad. That's why. You got confidence. That's why we don't like it sometimes. That's why when you see okay, if I said imagine somebody shameless. Imagine the most shameless person you know. Right now, imagine them. What do they look like? What are they wearing? What are they saying? What are they talking about? Imagine them. You tell me. Use your mind. Shameless. What is a shameless person wearing? What are they saying? Think about it. Yeah, CNC's still going. My brother, yeah, they're loud. They're probably naked or wearing something they don't care. Doesn't matter. You're shameless, my brother. They don't care what you think. And guess what? That's not a bad thing. My brother, I mean, haven't you noticed something? Sadly, the more I've learned about God, my brain, and life, the less shameless I have become. Now, obviously, I don't really care what anybody thinks, but I don't want to do that in a way that's disruptive, in a sense of, oh, I'm gonna cause a nuisance. But think about it. The more and more you find yourself, what do you think is gonna happen, dude? You know what I'm saying? If you truly find yourself, you access the full of your mind, brother. What do you think's gonna happen? Do you think you're gonna start caring more about what people think of you, or less? Do you think your actions, are you going to be checking in with somebody before or not? Do you see what I'm saying? You're gonna operate different. And my brother, I think some of you need this. And then sadly, go look around. A lot of ancient text, mainly the Bible, but this concept comes up a lot. Humble yourself. God works in the lives of those who are shameless, brother. You know why? Because it humbles the arrogant. You guys haven't seen that in the last every decade? But think about it. Some of you are so worried about things, but that's the whole thing. What you're worried about is what you need. The thing you are too ashamed of. Oh, do you get it? Because my brother, if you weren't ashamed of it, you would have been just like them. So if you're not, then you're telling me you're ashamed. Well, what separates you? Because there's something about it. The stone the builders rejected, the cornerstone, all of this. Think about it. Like, you encounter God, you are going to become more shameless. You know why? Because it's a lot harder to keep the tact and professionalism. Y'all don't feel me. Y'all don't feel me. See, you want me to be real with you? You want me to talk to you like a businessman? The businessman that I am? You want me to explain it? My brother, it's very simple. You encounter God, you're not going to have the same decorum moving for him if you've really encountered him. Do you understand? You want me to go see what God has done, encounter him face to face, and you want me to walk up to you and act? What do you want me to say? What do you think I'm going to tell you? Do you get what I'm saying? If I know exactly what God is going to do in my life, what I've seen him do, what he's already doing, what do you think I'm going to be ashamed about that in everything about me? How? It doesn't make sense. And that's what I'm telling you. Think about it. Go look at the stories. Go look at the ancient text. My brother, it is the shameless people who are having the wildest encounters with God, the world, the universe, everything. You know why? Because they didn't think they were too good to experience it. They were always down for something because they weren't too high and mighty to be a part of something. Oh, y'all playing with me. You don't get it? So go ahead, leave the religion out of this. But my brother, that shame versus arrogance, how does it impact your excitement and you getting involved in things and what you think is above or below you? Think about it. Do you see how I'm telling you, God works with shameless. You don't see it? Look. Because the people who are too ashamed don't do shit. The people who are too ashamed and care too much, my brother, they're never going to move. They're never going to take a real risk. They're never going to truly innovate. You know why? They're too afraid. Come on, I know this makes a lot of sense. I see PPIH. What is this? Perma Pipe Holdings? This looks like a SPAC. I don't know what this is, but yeah, 8% pop in one candle. That's going. So do you get it? My brother, you think I'm talking about God? You go find the best invention right now tomorrow with AI. How much shame you have or don't have, I think will determine your success. You see what I'm saying? How many of you will have a gold mine in your backyard, but you are too ashamed to exploit it or use it? And you're too caught up in the lower mind, what the world, what this, what that, and you're sitting on a mine of diamonds. Think about it. Do not be ashamed. My brother, some of you in the next few years are going to invent some of the greatest things. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to laugh at you. They're going to make fun of you. And the shameless one will continue and change the world. The one who gets ashamed by man instead of God will turn around and run away. Do you not hear me? Oh, let his will be done, brother. Yes, that's why I'm serious. That's what I'm saying, bro. You'll know what I'm saying. Because once you even encounter a God, again, you see how the world works. You discover more and more of your mind, my brother. It's hard to play this little. I can't tell you the truth without being shameless. You haven't realized? Because I'd have to water it down so much to for either you or me to not be ashamed of it. My brother, I'm shameless enough to believe God is in me. In you, and that we're going to change the world. Do you not see how shameless of a statement that is? You don't see how I could bother people? Because I said, we're going to change the world, brother. I believe all of you. I could blindfold myself, and I could tell you that we're still going to change the world. And that what we have in here, I know some of you are going to, without even seeing you. My brother. That's a faith, and that's something that you cannot be ashamed of. And my brother, if you had shame in your heart, you're not going to feel it, see it, and bring it to life. Do you believe he's going to do it? Do you approach God? You know how shameless I am, brother? I think God is really my dad. I think I'm related to him, dude. Do you know that? I think that's my God. I think I could call him. That's how shameless I am. I'm even like, oh, he didn't respond, but he responded. Now, you may think it's crazy or not, but that's how you're going to create. Because those who are ashamed do not create, brother. So I look forward to another half a decade with y'all creating. And those of you too ashamed to create, you figure it out and go home now. You're not ashamed to create, let's go. But this is what you're going to need. And I'm telling you, the lack of shame, it's a balance. Light or dark, you don't realize you use the lack of shame and you don't know what you're doing, or you use it for selfish and negative, my brother, it's going to be bad, right? That's why that's why we have examples of shameless being negative. Most examples are. You need to use it in a manner that's going to serve your life, your mind, your brain, and your future. So, I love it. I look forward to it. But again, long term, God, what you're going to work on, all this, Chatadonia. Why? Why be ashamed? And I think some of you I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need this for the next level. My brother, if some of you have done well and you have been stuck and you are good, I'm not talking about being stuck at the bottom. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you're in the weird middle ground, my brother. You need to get rid of the shame. Do you understand me? That shame is locking up too much of your mind and skill. You're too afraid of what a motherfucker is gonna say. You're too afraid of something. Or you're not. Why can't you believe? You think you're better than that? Why do you think you're too good to believe in you? Even a miracle. I mean, my brother, think miracles that think they're impossible. But why? What makes it so smart or foolish to believe in them? That doesn't make any sense. Do you get what I'm saying? You could believe miracles may be impossible. That's fine. But it doesn't make you more intelligent or intellectual if you believe in them or not. That's a misnomer. That's a misnomer of liberalism. It's impossible or it's not. Great, that's fine. But don't tell me you're better than it or worse than it. You're all fucking tripping. What are you ashamed of? The Lord has cleared your slate. What are you ashamed of? You live in the modern era. You have everything at your disposal. What are you ashamed of? Anybody who would say something about you ain't gonna even remember it. They don't even remember it. Tell me, Chad, my favorite example. What was the most embarrassing moment in your life? Great. Now that you thought about it, I want you to think of somebody else's most embarrassing moment of their life. You don't really know. You only know yours because nobody really cares. What are you ashamed of? But like I'm saying, some of y'all, if you've been stuck at a level and you have everything going for you already, I don't think you're lacking anything. Even your mind, some of you are very intellectual. My brother, I think this little mental game of shame and caring and being too afraid to believe, you should figure that out. Go meditate, go pray, and ask yourself why. Figure out what you're fucking ashamed of so that we could go knock that wall down as the Lord intended. Do you get, again, to elevate and meet him in the sky, not stuck in a box. So why? There has to be a reason. Or maybe you're going to be like those people. Again, you don't realize in the Bible what happened? These people would yell at Jesus, unashamed. They didn't give a They didn't care if the government would clap them. They didn't care if even the disciples, they're like, why are you yelling? And Jesus said, Jesus said, shut up, disciples. He said, what do you mean? The lady looking, she's not ashamed. My brother, we can make this religious, we can make it spiritual, but let me just put it this way. Shameless is how things get done. Do you understand me? That's all. That's all. That's how we're going to make moves. That's how you're going to do stuff. That's how you're going to change stuff. Activate desire, make desire real. You can't be ashamed. Shame is going to not make you, is going to trap you. You're unashamed, you're going to make moves. Do you understand? Take that to the bank. That is your philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Drop your thumbs up on the video. You're on mobile, press hard chat, X out the chat, hit the thumbs up button. Second link for the nightly watch list in my channel. Okay. Amen. Oh, I love it, bro. That's why, man. Wake up in the morning now. Tell me something good is gonna happen. Tell yourself and believe it. Why are you too ashamed to say that or believe it? Ha ha ha. Praise God. Call, baby. If a humble man tell you to be humble, he a narcissist. Tell that to the arsonist, the pharmacist. I wonder about the Stalinist, the Darwinist. I must insist, the things that we up against don't play defense. So next time that you take offense, my boundary just another fence. Don't forget, remember this. Already lost everything, don't tell me about a fucking risk. I'm humble but I'm powerful, but I don't have to tell you. There's some moments that you can't forget. So if I'm fake, come and get me now. It's not a big head, I just know the size of the crown. You watched a lot of porn. Does it look like I'm fucking around? You didn't like me then, I didn't hope that you would like me now. You want peace, I want it too. You want war, I got a crew. But I won't lie, dog, I only need a few. So tell me what you really wanna do. Man, I swear I'm just like you. Cause the tongue brings life, but it brings death too. Please just move. Good advice is never taken by a fool. I took a look at life like a mechanic look at tubes. Cheap, fast, and quality, could only pick two. Mannequin, I'm rude, but in a panic, in a feud. Would you want it on your team, or do you want it against you? The humble made me hungry, I will eat any food. Humble made me better, fake humble made me confused. The truth is that there is a real humility typical of our time. But it so happens that it's practically a more poisonous humility than the wildest prostrations of the ascetic. The old humility was a spur that prevented a man from stopping, not a nail in his boots that prevented him from going on. For the old humility made a man doubtful about his efforts, which might make him work harder. But the new humility makes a man doubtful about his aims, which will make him stop working altogether. Yo, Google! Oh, it looked way bigger. Boo! But yeah, they're dumping. Fucking 18 tickers makes it look like it was a death, but the low ticker's actually running. No fear, oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Amen. I told you it was a cold. Well, you know. Praise God, nephew. First and foremost, all the time. Whip dirty hair mess, I do not care. Told them all the truth, they respond like it's not there. Still I do not care, I don't think they see it. Looking for the money, they looking for disagreement. Hit by hit, it's brick by brick. They should've made a move, but they rather move their lips. I just need 4 quarters, it don't have to make sense. Yeah, I wake up every morning like I still pay the rent. That's early. Get your cake up, don't playing weight up. Gotta hit the layups, if you really about the mission, you don't even gotta say it. You can talk it or you live it, only one of them is paying. I respect the OnlyFans, more than the hater. It's how you gotta
got time to talk shit but no paper. Bro, you not hard, you got trouble trying to wake up. Bunch of wicked servants always telling you to save it. Grateful assholes say it's better if you waste it. Everybody's cooking but success is always tasted. Why you keep on looking if you tell me that you hate it? Why you keep on looking, I'ma go and fucking take it. Now you know exactly why I would call them cucks. I just made another stocker and I made $1 million. You don't gotta give me shot, I just bought myself a truck and another career, so I put my fingers up. Want your money, they will lie for that shit. We want the truth, we will die for that bitch. You ain't ride, you ain't buy on the dip, so don't ask me if it's time right after I doubled it. A fake bitch never got along with me. Can long form, not authentically. Can't top, bro, it's time to get busy. Bottom tick, top tick, so quick they get dizzy. Tell a bitch I know a bit about a slow jam, but you ain't in the whip. Why you telling me to slow down? Worry about your shit, I'll do the same. Can I go now? I'm just playing, don't ask permission from these hoes now. Go and tell the whole town, not afraid to throw down. Brought God to the showdown, he told me to bring no rounds. So if you kill me or I kill you, that just means it's his plan. I am scared of myself, I'm not scared of a stand. It's my life, grateful it's original. You a bitch, I don't have to use subliminals. They tell me sorry, but also knew I forgive them though. Reminds me of the times when I knew I was spiritual. Too afraid to say that I believe in Christ. I knew I found a treasure, but was scared to lose my life. Ironically, I do that every single time I'm right. They warned and we ignore until we feel it, that's life. Lie always make you think twice. Buyer call it worthless, then he brag about the price. Born named certain, found a thing called the dice. He could do anything, even catch a knife. He came up with the plan, it'll work, he'll do it right. His diligence was due when his stops were all tight. The plan was all perfect, success was in sight. He was ready for the day, but he died that night. Damn. Get it, nephew?
Ho. Chattadonia. Alright, we're back. We are back. Your Philo is over. I hope you're having a good day. And God bless you. But yeah, man. So, whatever's going on with Staples, you got a little bit of movement there. I don't know what happened with Marvel, Google. I think there was an Intel thing. You have the Serve NVIDIA thing. Wasn't there another one too? I don't know if we're expecting anything else, but I hope you have made your mind up. I just want to know what's going to happen with the government. That's it. At this point, policy, you're going to buy another company. What's up? So we'll find out. But if you have any off topics, now is your chance. Or if you have anything else, you could go ahead and do that right now. And then we could do it. What time is it? 11? No. 10:58. Oh, good timing. So great. Other than that, though, I'm not really expecting much. Let's see. Tap. I saw it, dude. I saw your construction. It actually looks very nice. I'm proud of you. You got good taste, brother. You know that? I saw the marble. I'm glad you didn't. You could have remodeled it like my other fellow Middle Easterners, and I'm glad you didn't. You did. You picked some good tiles, some good marble, and that's pretty cheap in how fast you did it. So good work. Good work. The body in the Tesla, yeah, that was a couple weeks ago. That was a weird scenario of a new stock. Yeah, that would. It just may take a couple days. So it's either going to. It's either gonna like meander around till Friday with no update, or they're gonna confirm it before the weekend. But the longer it takes, you guys remember Intel, even MP. So let me show you MP. You guys remember MP, right? But again, this one's weird because it's Canadian, but remember MP was right here. This was the government, and then it was 3 days later it got confirmed. You see what I'm saying? This was MP when the government announced it. This was like the earnings and I think some of the run up. It could have been here, but I'm pretty sure it was right here. I think it was these two right here. So this was the rumor, 3 days later confirmed, and then you got another 50% off the 50%. And then CNC's building. Where's the gold? Hello, how are you? It's good to meet you. Tim Whitman, how are you? Wow. Where is gold? HELOC 7%. versus selling trading account for home improvement, I would say don't do any of them. I've had people ask this before. They want to take out like HELOCs to remodel, but I don't know what the appeal is, unless you're gonna be like, especially if you're gonna sell the home, I would just discount the home instead of doing work. But I would try to find a way to like budget out and do a different way to pay for a home remodel if you want it, because I would just buy another house instead of remodeling the current one. But I don't like both of those options, unfortunately. You could still do it, but like I'm saying, unless I have to have a crazy necessity to justify like a home remodel, if it's not a value add, or again, why am I value adding if I'm like, what's the plan financially? Am I going to make money off of it? Am I going to rent it? Am I going to sell it? Those are the questions you need to be asking. I think we got a trade deal with Canada. I think we are still remaining on a couple of things, but I think we did actually. And then we're going to get something on the NTSA or what was it? The free trade agreement. They're going to do one adjustment. And then I think India and China we just don't have. After Proverbs, go to the New Testament. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Yeah, and you'll probably read Proverbs a couple of times. That's always a good one to go back. Yeah. Well, again, I've seen people just like go, especially if your home remodel is gonna get too emotional. The problem is that I've seen it. I've seen Chads do this. They'll spend way more on the remodel than it will even be worth. And what I mean by that is that not every house, when you put the money in, it's not gonna come out the same. Usually it's an improvement. Like usually I think like every $10,000 a home improvement should come out to like $20,000 or $30,000 in value, right? But if the house doesn't comp well, or it's a certain type of property, it's not in the right or a desirable area, it's in a certain price range, you could go and spend $100,000 on a home remodel, but it could only increase the value by $50,000. If it's the nicest house in the area, that's not good. You want the cheapest house in the nicest area. You do not want the nicest expensive house in your area. That's because then you're the top. Stu Live, a semi-police chase? Oh no. I hope. Remember, every time these police chases happen though, they've been getting hella dark lately, bro. I'm not down. Oh wait, JD Vance is going live too? And then Zelensky was just at the UN. Donald, thank you for your new found support of Ukraine. We ask for another 100 billion to secure your pledge. Thank you. I look forward to taking the territory. You're welcome, Vladimir. The one I like. That's the only Vladimir I like. Putin, he's a punk.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's a little prick. Putin price hike. You remember? Can we blame him again? Fuck him.
You bought your girl shares for her birthday? That's a very good gift, but you better go buy her a physical item right now. Okay? Believe me, I agree. I get my girl investments, and I think that's always great. But, you know, you better get her a flower, dog. You better throw a fucking flower at her or something. Okay, you did already? Good. I'm not gonna let you go out like that, Mr.
The Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance.
Solid advice. I'm hooking him up, bro. What are you saying? I want you guys to do well in everything. What the fuck? I'm gonna get fucking copywritten for that. there you go. And that's it. Yeah. He's like, for her birthday, I bought her AMC shares. What the fuck? Why? If that was it, bro, I would have just told you to. USA, USA, USA.
Thank you, please. You guys, what a crowd. We love you too. Thank you guys. It's good to see
I don't know, it's about tax cuts and law enforcement. Oh,
back
dude, I have
in
an
the great
idea.
state
Watch
of North
this.
Carolina. Thank you all so much for having me. I want to thank, first of all, these incredible law enforcement officers we have behind us. Thank you all for your service and for what you do. It's a good-looking crew. It's a little hot in here. If those of you who are watching at home don't know, it's a little hot in here. And they've got their navy blue uniforms on over here. I
Something
bet they're
about
even
Witkoff
hotter
in
than
Iran.
we are, standing up there under the spotlight, but they've done much tougher jobs, I think, before. So we're thrilled to have you guys here. And I just wanted to say to all the law enforcement who are in this building, to all the law enforcement who are watching at home, we love you, we're grateful to you, and we're always going to stand behind you. Thank you. Guys. Now, I have a few other thank yous before we get to the meat of what I wanted to say here. First of all, we're in this incredible hangar, and it belongs to Dennis and Kay Yates. Where are Dennis and Kay at? Where are you guys? Thank you all so much. Thank you guys for having us. And of course, we're also thrilled to be joined by the hangar's previous owner, Jack Rouse. So
JD
Jack, thank
kinda
you so
sound
much
like
for
Ned
building this
Flanders.
thing and for having us. It's good to be
I'm
here.
looking at an option chain. I'm not looking at him.
Now, I'm joined by one of my favorite former Senate colleagues, and that is the great Senator Ted Budd from North Carolina. Ted, thank you so much.
Email tradingfraternity@gmail.com.
Very good guy. And I assume we have some other Republicans in here, so are we going to send Ted Budd a great fellow senator and Michael Whatley from the state of North Carolina?
Yeah, I want to. I want to buy more houses. So if you do, I'll look if you have any house for sale. But again, if it's already on the market, I don't want it. Because again, if it's sat there for 30 days and it can't sell at a certain price, I'm not down. But email me, and then if you know somebody too, I'll pay you a commission. Tradingfraternity@gmail.com. But it's almost end of the year, so I do need, if you have any properties, this is the time to pull it, man. Email. It's not on the market? Yeah, perfect.
We've got Congressman Addison McDowell. Addison, where are you? Stand up and be recognized. Thank you, Addison. All right, this is your first term, right? Are you happy what you signed up for? That's good. Okay. Let's be honest, he couldn't say no, even if he wanted to, but he loves serving the great people in North Carolina and Washington. He does a very, very good job. And then I also want to give a shout out to Mark Harris. Mark, where are you? Please, Mark, you're a great guy. Thank you for everything. But I want to just say that being here in North Carolina, we're here to talk about law and order. We're here to talk about law enforcement, and we're here to talk about the basic fact that you all pay your taxes. They go to safe streets and safe cities. You ought to be able to enjoy the places that were built by your tax dollars. You ought to be afraid, the criminals ought to be afraid of you. You ought not be afraid of the criminals. It's very simple. And I think for too long in this country, we actually took the exact wrong approach. We told people that if you were walking down a city street and there was a crazy person over there yelling and screaming at your kids, you ought to walk to the other side of the street rather than possibly be accosted by a violent person. Well, you know what I think? I think that if a person is being violent and threatening to young children and young families, they ought to send their asses to prison instead of telling people that they got to cross the other side of the street. Now, and Ted is going to be mad at me. Ted is a good Christian man. He does not cuss. So, Ted, forgive
Tesla
me.
Pi
I get
phone?
a little fired up
I don't see
sometimes
that
when
anywhere,
I'm
but
talking
I'll
about
keep
this.
that
Look,
on watch.
I have gotten in arguments with people before. You know, a couple years ago, I took my family to New York City. This was when I was in the United States Senate. We spent a few days there. It was a wonderful trip in a lot of ways. But, you know, every time we went to the subway, I'd have one of my kids grabbing onto my leg or afraid because there was a crazy person yelling, hollering, and screaming at a 3-year-old little kid. Why do we live like this? Why do we accept this in our communities? And the answer is because of bad political leadership. We have accepted for too long this idea.
All right, and
that
you
we ought
guys
to
should
give
wrap up
over
your
our
plays. I
streets
mean,
to criminals.
So
and
he's going to do this talk. Watch Axon. I sent out a stream alert for that. There's not too many cheap plays, but just he's talking law enforcement. So Axon is a law enforcement stock. I don't know if they're going to announce anything, and that one's down 7, but I would literally like wrap up your plays. We're either going to close below 6,600, and you're going to do that final flush from earlier today and like break below here, close that gap, or we're just going to, it'll probably hit there, get pinned, and then a bounce, and then that's it. But you got a couple hours, hour left, hour 50, and then no real big development. So while this is playing, I mean, I would just think about what you want to play, or if you do think seasonal melt up or melt down, remember we are entering the last weeks here of September.
A violent murder every other day, 2 weeks without a murder.
You got chased by a homeless guy?
A track record.
Are
and
you
then
for
we
real?
just surged the National Guard to Memphis, Tennessee. Again, a Democrat city
That's crazy.
in a red state, but where the mayor said, we are sick of our people being afraid to walk safely on the streets, so why don't you help us? And that's our basic attitude in the Trump administration is, look, we should not allow people
I feel
to take
so
over.
bad.
We should not
'Cause you
allow
guys
these
are
violent
like
criminals to take over
normal
city
people,
streets.
you know?
And if the local
I'm pretty sure the
government
homeless
wants our
people
help,
think I'm
if
homeless.
the local authorities
they're
want
really
our
nice
help,
to me.
then we are going to
They
help
ask
them
me for
because
a
we
lighter.
stand
I'm
for
like, I don't have a
American
lighter.
safety
Why would I have a lighter?
everywhere, whether it's a
Or
big
they
city
pee
or
on my
small
car
one.
when
Thank
I
you,
give them
young
money.
man.
It's really weird. XEL. Whoa, XEL, 2%.
So this is what it means.
XEL.
Pro law and order is actually not
That's
that
about
difficult.
to trigger.
There are some things
I
we
don't know
do,
what the headline
some
is.
issues we address that are so
XL
complicated and so
Energy.
challenging, but
Natural
supporting our
gas?
local law enforcement is
Okay,
actually
2.7.
pretty easy. It's just a question of
That's
political
energy. I don't know
willpower.
if it's energy
Here's thing
related or a
number one.
buyout.
Very
I don't have a
simple.
headline yet.
If our great
Oh.
police officers find a violent criminal
8K.
and lock
Yeah,
them
wait,
up,
they just
we ought
filed
to
a
keep them
8K.
locked up instead of letting
That's
them
on the
back on our
wire.
streets with a slap on the wrist.
I gotta read it.
That means we want to give our police officers the very best equipment and the very best protection anywhere in the world.
What did they file? The 8K disclosed complaints against public company PSCO. They reached a settlement. PSO pays $640 related to the settlement with $350 funded by insurance coverage. So yeah, PSOC is and reaffirms outgoing guidance of $375 to $385 a share. So they're getting $640 million from a lawsuit that they won. They just filed the 8K now. That hasn't hit the wire yet.
Go. And I want to talk about her for a second because I think we got a beautiful baby over there. How you doing, ma'am? Yeah, I would like to. How old is she? 6 months old. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for bringing her. We want law and order for her above all else, right? That's why we're doing what we do. But we all know a couple weeks ago, and it's one of these things that got bumped out of the news because of the political assassination of Charlie Kirk. And so let me talk just a bit about that. You all know Charlie. He was a great guy. He was a great husband, a great father. He believed in two things, I think, above all else. Number one,
You got called a low-budget Harry Potter by a homeless man? That's hilarious.
States of America, that we
I would have gave him money for that. That's a great joke.
And not attack one another over our disagreements. And he gave his life dying for that principle. And the second thing he believed, and it was the most important, is that he wanted to be a Christian evangelist. He wanted to bring the gospel everywhere, and he saw connecting with people and debating politics as an opportunity to talk about his faith. And I think it's important to honor him by recognizing that this is a kid, and he died at 31 years old. This is a kid who every single day, he would go to these college campuses, he would talk for 3 hours with anybody about whatever they wanted to talk about, and he believed in the civic virtue of open debate. He gave his life to protect that civic virtue, and he gave his life serving that civic virtue at the highest level. He was a great guy, and his loss was the nation's loss. And Erica, we love you. Erica's his beautiful widow. And I think you all will join me in saying that what happened to Charlie was disgusting, it was unacceptable, and it is the most anti-American act of violence that we've seen in the last couple of weeks in this country. It was a disgrace.
Last couple of weeks?
But
why did that take the crowd so long?
Thank you all.
I think it was the last couple weeks comments, brother. We're like, what the fuck you mean last couple of weeks? When was the last time this fucking happened?
The thing is, it actually bumped out of the news this terrible story in Charlotte. And here's the basic summary, as far as I can recall it, is you have a violent criminal who has been arrested 14 times, often for very violent offenses, who gets on a bus with an innocent young girl.
Yeah, XEO 4. I don't know what their market cap
her
is.
Throat, and she dies. She died because she was coming home from work. She
44 billion, so they're getting 600 mil. It's like
a beautiful
5%
family. She
of
had
their
a young
market
boyfriend.
cap.
She had her entire
It's a decent
life
amount.
ahead of her.
Then
And
they
she was
reaffirm
actually
their guidance is
refugee from
reaffirmed. That could
Ukraine.
be the reason too.
So she came from a war-torn country. She sought shelter in the United States of America, and because of soft-on-crime policies, she was murdered here, not in the war-torn country she came from. Isn't that a disgrace? And isn't that an insult to the incredible law enforcement officers who arrested this person 14 times? They did everything that they could to keep this thug off the streets, and it was the political leadership that failed, and we got to be honest about that. I saw former Governor Cooper say, and this is Michael Whatley's opponent, former Governor Cooper said just a couple of days after the attack that we have got to do more when it comes to law enforcement to keep people like this off the streets. And my response was, Governor, he was arrested 14 times. Law enforcement did their job. It's time for you to do your job.
That one took off.
And it's so amazing to me. Political Democrats, I don't think it's all Democrats. I actually think most Democrats want what most Republicans want, which is safety in their communities, but they always manage to turn issues of crime into a distraction about race. They always try to say that law enforcement locking violent criminals up is inherently racist. And I gotta be honest with you, that's an insult to white people. It's an insult to black people too. Because all of us just want to live safely in our communities. It doesn't make an ounce of sense to me. But I actually, because of these Democrat talking points, I went and looked up. Do you know that in most big cities, the gross majority, over 90% of violent crime is committed by fewer than 1% of the city's residents? This is not a black-white issue. This is, we've got a small percentage of violent criminals in our communities. Democrats want to let them out of prison, and Republicans want to put them in prison and keep them there so that all of us are safe in the process. I think that's common sense, don't you? So I also got to talk a little bit about another law and order problem. I said Charlie Kirk's assassination was the most political and disgusting violence that we've had in this country in the last couple of weeks. And that was true maybe until this morning, because I don't know if you all have followed the news, and we're still learning a little bit about it.
JD,
but
what are you saying?
is that in Dallas, Texas, an ICE facility, an Immigrations and Customs Enforcement facility, was opened fire upon by a violent left-wing extremist, a person who wrote anti-ICE messaging.
So much going on.
There's some evidence that we have that's not yet public, but we know this person was politically motivated. They were politically motivated to go after law enforcement. They were politically motivated to go after
doubling
people
down on this couple of weeks, bro.
I think that is the most disgusting thing. The very people.
It's like a tough couple of weeks, for sure.
By Democrats and a lot. It is time to stop the rhetorical assault on law enforcement. Because here's what happens. When Democrats like Gavin Newsom did say that these people are part of an authoritarian government. When the left-wing media lies about what they're doing, when they lie about who they're arresting, when they lie about the actual job of law enforcement, what they're doing is encouraging crazy people to go and commit violence. You don't have to agree with my immigration policies. You don't have to agree with Donald Trump's immigration policies. But if your political rhetoric encourages violence against our law enforcement, you can go straight to hell, and you have no place in the conversation of the United States of America. Just yesterday, NBC News, maybe the worst of all the fake news, and I'm sure we have an NBC reporter out there. It's a tough competition, But maybe the worst, I said maybe the worst, is NBC News. And they said that immigration enforcement, you know what they said? That immigration in order to get to that girl's father. Turned out that story was a complete fabrication. It was a complete dishonest lie. But when you go around and lie about our law enforcement and you tell them that they're mistreating 5-year-old girls, what do you think is going to happen? When Democratic politicians incur
Did
doxing,
he just leak the
when they
info that he
encourage
said
us
that
to
they knew?
unmask ICE enforcement officers.
Where did that come from?
When they encourage us to unmask ICE enforcement officers, what do you think is going to happen? When the mayor of Los Angeles encourages violent protesters to get in the face of our law enforcement, what do you think is going to happen? What's going to happen is political violence, and political violence has gotten out of control in this country. We got to stop it. We got to condemn it, and that starts, unfortunately, at the very top of the Democratic Party.
Morning.
If
Good
you want to
afternoon.
stop political violence, stop attacking our law enforcement as the Gestapo. If you want to stop political violence, stop telling your supporters that everybody who disagrees with you is a Nazi. If you want to stop political violence, look in the mirror. That's the way that we stop political violence in this country, and we've got to do it.
You're
And
raining on the
while
law.
we're all mourning and rooting for and praying for everybody who was injured at that
I feel like I haven't heard a JD convo. Wait, why is the why is the vice president working? This is so. Wait a minute. But yeah, I was like, dude, I haven't heard one of these in a while.
Just because we don't support illegal aliens, we don't want them to be executed by violent assassins engaged in political violence or either. So we're praying both for our ICE agents, but also for everybody who's affected by this terrible attack. But that was an ICE facility. And as these guys behind me know, and a few of our police officers know, police officers writ large face too many threats of violence all across the United States of America. And we know where it started. We all remember the summer of 2020 when all of these violent protesters were encouraged to treat police as the enemy instead of as the solution. You'd take 1,000 police officers, you'd find one person who didn't do something perfect and use that one guy to tarnish the other 999 police officers. Well, I would like everybody, whether a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent, especially those in political leadership, can we all just agree that our police officers are heroes, that they are public servants, and that the first and most important step of keeping all of us safe is to keep our police officers safe, because they are the thin blue line between civilization and chaos. Thank you all. It just happens too much. Our police officers being assaulted, our police officers being attacked. You have these crazy attacks where you have a cop in a squad car who's enjoying their lunch break, and somebody comes up and summarily executes them before the cop even had a chance. It happens way too much, and it happens because too many of our political leaders have encouraged it. Now, it's not just that. It's not just the rhetoric that encourages violence against our law enforcement. You know, when I was in the Senate, there was a big bill that was going around, and it was basically that we were going to try to eliminate qualified immunity from police officers. One of the most disgraceful and worst ideas that I've ever seen. In other words, that we were going to make it easy for criminals to sue police officers
Okay, I'm
for
going to the
doing their
bathroom.
job.
I won't. You'll be flying
Now,
blind
does
for a
anybody
second.
think, when you see the fake news media and the way they attack our police officers, does anybody think that we need to make it harder for our police to do their job? Some of America's cities today have worse murder rates than the very worst third world cities all over the world. That's not a joke. You go to Port-au-Prince, Haiti, or you go to some of the poorest countries all over the world, even those countries have a better murder rate than Washington, D.C. or some of the major American cities. Some of them have better murder rates than Charlotte, North Carolina. That's a disgrace. All of us should be asking, how do we make that better? How do we make people safer in their communities? How do we make it easier for a young family to walk down the street in security and comfort? But unfortunately, we've got a crew of violent radicals in the United States of America who think we ought to make it harder for police to keep us safe than easier for police to keep us safe. So here's one thing I'd like to do. I'd like every single Democrat starting today and every Republican too, while we're at it, to say that we are going to defeat these efforts to strip immunity from our police officers. We're going to make it easier for them to do their job, not harder for them to do their job. Let's fight for it every single day. That's exactly right, sir. That's exactly right. You can say that, but I can't. I've hit my quotient for cuss words today. I don't want Ted Budd to disown me, so I'm not going to say that, but we can run the clip back later. But let me just leave you with one final thought here. Look, I was asked earlier today by a reporter I actually like, but a reporter who said, well, don't both sides have crazy people? And of course, obviously, country of 330 million people, of course, both sides have crazy people. But if you look at the political violence in our country over the last couple of months, the last couple of years, it is not a both sides problem. It is primarily on one side of the political aisle. So, if we are going to truly go after the political violence in this country, we need the Democratic leadership of Washington, D.C. to look in the mirror. We need them to renounce all political violence. When a poor kid like Charlie Kirk is gunned down in cold blood, we need them to start with condemning the violence instead of condemning something that Charlie Kirk said that they disagreed with. When you have an entire network of left-wing organizations that encourage, that promote, and that apologize for violence, you know what you're going to get out of it? You're going to get political violence. So here's my sacred obligation to you, to all the law enforcement, but every person, whether they wear a uniform or not. Over the next couple of years, the Trump administration is going to do everything that we can to dismantle the networks, to destroy the funding, and to make it harder for people to kill one another just because they disagree with what somebody says. That is what we're going to do. We're going to fight for it. Let me just leave you with this one final thought. Now, most of the time when I go around to events like this, I'm talking about our big, beautiful bill, our working families tax cuts. And I want to leave us just with a reflection on that, because while we're talking about law and order today and we're honoring the police, one of the ways in which we rebuild the American dream is by allowing you to keep more of your hard-earned money. And that bill that these great congressmen worked on and the great senator here, what it did was very simple. It increased the child tax credit. It meant that we're going to increase take-home pay by about $10,000 over the 4 years of the Trump administration. It means that if you're working on tips or if you're working an overtime shift, the government is going to take less of your money. And I think that's a pretty good idea, because if you're working hard, I think the government ought to keep its hands out of your pocket. We're going to do all those things.
Inshallah, Habib. Inshallah.
Because I believe the American dream is fundamentally about this principle. It's about the principle that for all the parents and grandparents out there, and I'm now the parent of 3 beautiful young kids, I just want them to have a better life than the life that I have. That, to me, is the core of the American dream. The promise that if you work hard and play by the rules, we're going to give our kids and we're going to give our grandkids something that's just a little bit more prosperous.
That's why I get a long-term in real estate,
and a little bit more proud than what we were given when we were kids. That is, I think, our sacred obligation. That by inheriting a great country from our parents and grandparents, we got to pass on something even greater to the next generation. But none of that matters without law and order and public safety. How can you have the American dream if you can't walk down your neighborhood in safety? How can you have the American dream if you're worried about getting mugged when you're taking your family out to a nice meal downtown? How can you have the American dream when every celebration, every big moment in a person's life, you're too worried about violent crime and not focused enough on the things that make life worth living? One of the things that we have got to get back to remembering is that if we want to preserve the American dream, we've got to preserve the right of everybody, rich or poor, to live in safety and security in their neighborhoods. You know, when I grew up in Middletown, Ohio in the 90s, we didn't have a whole lot of money. I was raised by a woman who struggled very often to put food on the table and clothes on her back. Mamaw. Everybody loves Mamaw. Most of all me. But you know what? For all of the problems that we had,
Target, it was like 10 minutes ago.
Was worried about where our next meal
I don't know
would come from,
if that's the reason why. Remember, it bounced up, but there's a Taylor Swift
be able to make important
pre-order
bill
at
payment,
Target.
we never
That's why it's
worried
moving up
about
right now.
public safety. And the reason we never worried about public safety, the reason she knew I could go across the street and play in the park in safety and comfort, is because we had something in this country. And that was a recognition, Democrat and Republican, that we stood with law enforcement and we stood with their mission. It didn't matter what your political affiliation was. We wanted to support people who kept our communities safe. And that's something we've gotten away from, because a lot of the people who report on the news, a lot of the people who actually make policy in Washington, D.C., let's be honest, they are wealthy people who can block themselves off from the consequences of the policies they impose on the rest of us. Now maybe...
You're one of them, JD.
Now maybe...
I'm just
maybe
saying,
they've never
I know,
had to call
I'm
a
just
police
saying.
officer because they can call a private security guard. Maybe they've never
But at
had
least he
their
wants
home
to
broken
fix it.
into because they live behind a gated community. Maybe
I
they don't
beat
have
you.
to worry about walking down the streets of a city safely because they've got a driver in a big fancy car who can take them from point A to point B, but that is not true of the gross majority of our citizens. So I want to tell you, when I talk about protecting the American dream, when President Trump talks about fighting for the American dream, at the very top of that list is fighting for your ability, whether you're rich or poor, to be safe in the home that you love. It is our sacred obligation, it's their sacred obligation, and we're going to work for it every single day. God bless you. Thank you for having me.
We
Now-
love you! That wasn't me. That was one of me, somebody in the crowd. We love you! JD. It sounds like they're saying, Jerry, Jerry,
Now,
Jerry. Who's the
Now, I
father?
forgot. I told
no?
them the fake
Okay.
news, and I'm sure there's
All
some
right.
real news back there. I told them I'd take a few questions. So, I'm not getting out
I
here just
thought we
yet.
were about to
We'll
get
take
the
a few
paternity
questions from
test. I was like,
reporters. I would prefer to
oh!
start with
No,
some of the
but
local
JD,
North
not
Carolina
Jerry,
folks,
not Jerry.
and then we can take some national questions after that. Do we have a microphone back there?
Hey,
Hey.
Vice President,
I can't see you.
over here.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Vice President,
Thank you.
thank you for taking questions from us, and thank you for visiting Concord. You referenced the awful death of Irina Zarutska. I'm just curious, have you had the chance to watch that awful video that was released by Katz, and what your thoughts are after
Okay, that's a
viewing it?
great opening.
Well, yeah, you know, I've honestly.
Did you watch the gruesome
seen
murder
A lot of gruesome footage
that you're
some
talking
involving
about?
my
Did you
friends
see
over
it
the last couple of weeks?
visually?
But the footage of Irina getting stabbed to death.
That's
is
just the
very
question?
hard to
There wasn't
watch.
even a
And I have
follow-up?
not seen the whole video from start to finish. I had to cover my eyes for part of it because it is so gruesome, and maybe I should just stare at it. Maybe all of us should stare at it to know
Okay,
the kind of
let's-
evils that we're actually confronting, because what happened to her was
I
really,
could see JD
really
turning into
disgusting,
Trump in, like,
and
20
I think
years.
It comes from a deep and
Just, like,
dark
comments-wise?
and evil place that exists.
Because he just said he'll
Thankfully,
just go
in
with
a very
it.
few number of people.
So
but
I
those
think you
people
should
got
stare
locked
at
in
it.
prisons
I
and they
covered
can't
my
get
eyes.
anybody
You
else.
should stare. Maybe
But
we
when
all
I
should
saw
stare.
that video, you know what really got me as a father? I've got 3 little kids, 2 boys, and my youngest is a baby girl. She's 3 years old. She is the apple of my eye, as you dads will know. Daughters just have an effect on us. They get away with more stuff. They don't they? It's kind of annoying, actually. She gets away with things she should not get away with, that her brothers would never get away with. But I look at this girl who's 22 years old, and I think to myself, you know, I would love for my daughter to have the kind of life where she never has to worry about that. And there's this moment where she looks up at her attacker and she covers her mouth, and you realize what's going through her head. She knows that something very terrible has happened to her, and I hope that she didn't realize it for too long, because that is unimaginable suffering. But if you're a man, I don't care what skin color you are, I don't care whether you're rich or poor, but if you're a man and you see the pleading eyes of a girl looking up for protection, then we have to protect our girls and our women in this country. And that was my reaction to it. That was my thought when I watched it. Now, young man, this is a very earnest young man. He doesn't look like a journalist to me, but go ahead and shout out a question, because I'm not going to deny that level of energy and that level of passion. First of all, what's your name? Henry. It's good to meet you, Henry. Ask your question, please.
Give Henry a mic. I didn't hear his punchline.
Come up here.
Are we about to get a new meme? I think
Henry
Rand-
said, I skipped school. Can I have a picture with you? Well, I guess you got to have some excuse to skip school, so I might as well get a photo with Henry.
Nice. Democrats are about to write like 15 articles on why Trump and JD hate education. The vice president encourages children to skip school. 5 signs your child is falling behind in school. Talk to a counselor today and confuse them about their identity. Fuck!
Now the next reporter is going to
Now
be,
I gotta
hey, I'm
see a
from
bunch of
CNN. Can I have a
dumbass
photo
shit
with
on
you
my
too?"
timeline.
I wish that I got questions that easy.
I'm gonna have to see that Ed
Sir,
Krasenstein guy fucking make a big deal about this.
Can we get you a microphone? I can't hear you, sir.
Oh god!
Gotcha.
And then all the fucking
I'm
bots
Jordan
are gonna
Green with
retweet
Raw
it
Story.
because they all get paid
President
too.
Trump
And then they're
and
like, oh.
other speakers here.
And then you guys
have
ask me in the
blamed,
morning, did you see Donald Trump hates
Former
education?
Governor Cooper
He's telling
and
kids to
Mayor
not
of,
go to school?
Charlotte for Irina Zarutska's
You see that?
death. Do you also hold the North Carolina General Assembly responsible, who set the laws governing pretrial release that may have affected this crime?
Well, look, I think every politician who didn't work hard to keep violent criminals behind bars deserves to have some of the blame. But at the very top of that list is Governor Cooper. Because at the time that we were pushing these soft on crime policies, Governor Cooper was the man in charge. Now, I know we've got some great North Carolina legislators, and I might call them out if they're here. Do we have North Carolina House Speaker Destin Hall? Where's Destin at? Destin, thank you, man. We got Phil Berger here. Phil, thank you so much. Senate President Pro Tem. We've got County Sheriff Van Shaw.
China
Where's
Xi
County
says
Sheriff Van Shaw? Thank
non-fossil
you, sir.
fuels will make 30% of China's energy consumption by 2035.
We've got Cabras County DA Ashley.
See, just in case if China
Shanley?
goes up again,
Shanley? I
if
got
Xi
that
makes
right, okay.
comments. Honda.
Of course, we got North Carolina GOP Chairman Jason Simmons.
Xi says
Jason
greenhouse
Simmons,
gas emissions will be 7 to 10% below peak.
That's a celebrity in the Trump White House there. North Carolina Labor Commissioner Luke Farley. Luke, where are you? Luke, thank you. And I know, look, I know that our great North Carolina local legislators here have worked very hard to solve some of these soft on crime policies.
Amen. Be
And make it
shameless in
harder
your
to
belief.
let violent criminals out
Amen.
so easily, and to demand that when you have a violent criminal who goes in, the person stays there and doesn't get a slap on the wrist and released to commit more crime in the community. That's what we want. We don't want a criminal justice system that goes after innocent people. We also don't want a criminal justice system that lets obviously violent felons out of prison without any real consequences. It's just very simple. And again, I go back to the statistic.
Yeah,
where
Staples
we've got
haven't made a
such
move, but look,
small
Spy's still near the
number of
bottom.
people
Remember that
who
dynamic
commit
is
so
still
much
at
of the
play.
violent crime, if
XEL
we
is still
just
going,
locked
baby.
them up. And
But
I mean, look,
watch,
I
you
believe
might
in
get everything in
repentance,
tandem.
and I
It's
believe in
30 minutes
forgiveness,
till
but I
power hour,
believe that
22.
Forgiveness often only comes on the other side of real punishment and real regret, which is why we got to lock some of these guys up in the first place. So yeah, I blame the political leadership, and I can't get over a governor who pursued soft on crime policies, Roy Cooper, who pursued soft on crime policies, who let violent criminals out of prison, and then after Irina was murdered, to have the audacity to blame our law enforcement. Law enforcement arrested this guy 14 times. They did their job. It's time for the politicians to do their job too. Next question.
Vice President Vance, thank you so much for taking questions. I'm Casey Jones from WCCB Charlotte. When it comes to cracking down on crime in cities like DC, Memphis, Chicago, sending the National Guard, what specific metrics does the administration use to decide where those resources go? And can we expect that kind of response here in Charlotte anytime soon?
Well, look, if the mayor of Charlotte and the governor of North Carolina asked for our help, we would absolutely send it because we believe in helping people regardless of whether they're
Trump
Democrats
to sign
or Republicans.
TikTok deal
we would love
Thursday.
to have the mayor of Charlotte reach out for our help. And that's, you asked what the metrics are, that's one of the most important metrics. We want to go where we can have a real partnership between local law enforcement and the federal officials so that we can root out the crime. And that goes to the second metric. What is the most important thing? You can tell how many people are being murdered in a community. You can tell how many carjackings there are. You can tell how many armed robberies there are. There's way too much violent crime happening in our country. And when we look at an American community, again, we don't care about their politics. When we look at an American community where people are suffering because of violent crime, our response is, we want to help, just let us. And I'd encourage everybody to talk to your local officials. I know we're a little far away from Charlotte, but to talk to your local officials and encourage them to ask for the help of the Trump administration. We are willing to provide it. We want fewer people to be affected by violent crime.
Dude, Exy, I'm surprised that moved like that. That's 5% now. I mean, again, they probably collected 5% of their market cap in that settlement. I think it was the earnings. I hope you saw that. That was interesting. You got the 8K on the wire,
say, no,
and then that hit everybody else 2 minutes later.
Well, excuse me. If you don't need the federal help, then why is your murder rate so terrible in the first place? You do need the help. You just need to admit it. Thank you, Casey. Next question.
Vice President Michael Warwick. I'm with WBTV. Welcome to Race and Country, first of all. Irina's law was just passed by Republican lawmakers. It's now on Governor Stein's desk. It addresses cashless bail. It would allow magistrates to involuntarily commit people who they believe to be sick. However, opponents of that bill don't think it goes far enough for the mental health side of things. It also opens the door to the death penalty, which I know some opponents are against. Why would you encourage the governor, politics aside,
am I tripping, or is that
to sign that bill?
Well, because I want to keep violent criminals off the street.
Or my house about to just fall for no reason.
And this bill does it. Irina's law does it. Congratulations to the Senate President and House Speaker for getting it over the finish line. The governor's got to sign it. I guarantee if this bill is signed into law, it will help our incredible law enforcement keep the streets safe. And that's ultimately all I really care about. Again, it breaks my heart to think that you have young kids.
Was there an earthquake?
Especially in poor communities, whether they're black or white, who don't feel
I don't know if
like
I'm tripping or not.
Outside.
It was very gentle.
Grandmothers who are taking care of grandkids who don't want to sit
I
out
could
on
have
the
just
front porch
farted.
because they're
I
worried
don't
about
know.
drive-by shootings.
Thank God I have
that
people
break
here.
Everybody's heart, and the way to solve the problem is to empower these cops to go after the bad guys and to do it with their full skill and their full force. Now, I don't know, have I read every detail of the law? I know some of the things that it does. I know that it ends cashless bail, which would be huge for the people in North Carolina. I know it makes it harder for some of these local magistrates to let people out with a slap on the wrist. That would be huge for the people of North Carolina. But could there be more? There could always be more. But don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. This bill is going to make North Carolinians safer. They ought to sign it.
This is long.
Hi, Mr. Vice President. It's Kit Maher representing the White House TV pool today. I just have two national questions for you, if you'll allow it.
Go ahead.
Number one, on Ukraine, President Trump said that Ukraine can fight and win back its territory. Could you explain the shifting stance there from stopping the bloodshed immediately, ending the war, and now saying that Ukraine should fight? Is that a tactic to pressure Putin back to the table?
We'll go ahead and do the second question.
Yeah, second question. Last year, when I was covering on the campaign trail, you told Joe Rogan that the difference between Harris and Trump is that Trump is not trying to censor his fellow Americans. I'm wondering if you can square your fervent belief in free speech with what's going on now with Jimmy Kimmel and the FCC pressure. I'd love to hear your thoughts on both of those.
Well, look, on the free speech conversation, I'm pretty sure that Jimmy Kimmel was back on the air last night. And
Alabama, there was an earthquake, or Jamaica?
He's not funny and has terrible ratings.
I'm good.
This is not a federal government problem. This is... And Kit, I want to answer your question in good faith. What people will say is, well, didn't the FCC commissioner put a tweet out that said something bad? Well, Kit, compare that, the FCC commissioner making a joke on social media. What is the government action that the Trump administration has engaged in to kick Jimmy Kimmel or anybody else off the air? Zero. What government pressure have we brought to bear to tell people that they're not allowed to speak their mind? Zero. We believe in free speech in the Trump administration. We are fighting every single day to protect it. Now compare that to the Biden administration, where we found out just yesterday that conservatives on YouTube and on a number of social media platforms were being censored. Why? Because the Biden administration picked up the phone and said, we want you to censor our political opponents. That is real.
Dog, why did they pick Josh?
Left the White House.
You guys don't think that's weird?
That out of every motherfucker y'all chose, is it really because of Jesus?
I've answered.
And out of everybody, y'all could have chosen anybody. And YouTube was like, fuck Josh. Fuck that one. Fuck the law term.
Reality on the ground.
Like, are you
reality
kidding
on
me?
The ground is that number one, we have engaged in incredibly good faith negotiations with both the Russians and the Ukrainians, and I believe the president is growing incredibly impatient with the Russians right now because he doesn't feel like they're putting enough on the table to end the war. That's number one. Number two, the president has grown very confident that this war is bad for Russia. You hear me say this all the time. You hear the president say this all the time. The war is bad for Russia. It's bad for Ukraine.
When did they
it's bad
censor
for
me?
America.
I'm banning
we want
you.
The killing to stop. That
now you
remains
get to
the
know what it
president's
feels
position.
like, sir.
The president also can look at
The
reality
people
on
like
the
you
ground.
who act
He
dumb
sees the
about it, I
economic
love
numbers
them.
that are coming out of
You guys are the
Eastern Europe.
best.
He sees the number of dead people, both the Russians and Ukrainians that are happening.
When did that happen? Oh my
President is telling
gosh.
Vladimir Putin
The
it is
government
time
does
to
this?
stop
Oh my
the
gosh.
killing. He would say that
That's why I
to
love you guys.
to Zelensky. In fact, has said that to Zelensky. He wants this war to end, and he's doing everything that he can to stop it. But look, if the Russians refuse to negotiate in good faith, I think it's going to be very, very bad for their country. That's what the president made clear. It's not a shift in position. It's an acknowledgement of the reality on the ground. We're going to keep on fighting for peace every single day in the Trump administration. And I'll do one more question here. Another question. Sir.
I want to take it from you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Vice President. Monica Casey, WRAL out of Raleigh. We are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of Hurricane Helene's
Tesla.
Sure.
What is the administration doing to
I don't know if
speed
that
up
just
the distribution
that
of
it looks like
federal
news.
aid for that disaster?
Yeah, so just
Out
in
of
the last
nowhere.
week, the Secretary of Homeland Security put another, I believe, $64 million into the disaster relief effort. We inherited, I'm going to be honest with you, a FEMA that was mired in bureaucracy and red tape. The president has made very clear from day one, we want to get relief to the people of North Carolina as quickly and
YouTube
as
prevented
rapidly
millions
as
of
humanly
people from not
possible,
getting
and
a
that's what
long-term.
we're trying to do. The second thing I'll say
Just because
is
Josh
that
banned you.
I understand the governor had a very good call with the president, I believe on 9/11 actually, about a week and a half ago. It may have been, the day before, the day
I don't know
afterwards.
what's up with Tesla.
But he had a good conversation with the president about some of the disaster relief needs that are there. We're going to keep on working on this. We're going to keep on working with some of our colleagues and the federal congressional delegation from North Carolina. But let me just say, I visited the devastation myself. I want the people there to know we continue to think about them, we continue to work on this issue, and we're going to make sure that we never forget that area of North Carolina and the devastation that storm caused. Great.
Yeah, we did forget about that, huh?
All right. On that note, I just want to say you guys have been an incredible group to get to spend some time with. Henry, I hope you got the photo you needed. So are you going to get like a tardy, Henry, or what's the deal? If you get a photo with the vice president, you're allowed to have an excused absence? Is that how that works? Okay, he doesn't know, actually. Henry is not as confident in that question as I would have hoped, but it's great to meet you, my
big
friend.
volume. I don't know.
It's great
Check
to be
if
with
there's.
all of you.
I don't think
Just
Elon
remember,
tweeted anything.
We've got a very, very important job, and each and every single one of us has a role to play. To our law enforcement, thank you for the job that you do. We're going to keep on fighting for you in the Trump administration. We're going to keep on fighting for safety and security all across the state of North Carolina. God bless you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Detroit Auto Worker.
Yeah. All right. So that was a long time hearing the vice president. We usually don't hear him. And now I'm going to make you guys listen to anti-propaganda. Because, yeah, some of you, I don't know. I think I was very nice about it and other people. But after that Google court case, this is why. I think we do need to, I'm glad with the changes we've made. And some of y'all, you are not really good supporters, and that's fine. I hope you benefit off of what I say. But you guys are a threat to society. I don't think you guys are good people, because the way to support some of the blatant shit that you went through the last 4 years and then acting dumb today, you guys should do better. All right. And here, let me have the former YouTube CEO explain it to you, because it's disgusting.
Hesitancy, videos that cause a public health risk. Where do you want to see YouTube do better?
Well, first of all, we've taken
this was during 2020.
We've taken responsibility very
Again,
seriously.
I got 3 hits on this.
It's been one of my top priorities. And
never said anything about my status. I just made jokes.
That has been a top priority for us. And we
And then
have,
played clips
we
of
have
Trump.
a number of different ways that we address that.
Listen
So
to
first of
this.
all, we want to make sure that if there's information that violates our policies, we came up with 10 different policies around COVID. Then if that's a violation of policies, then that's something that we'll remove. We removed over 1 million videos associated with COVID.
Have you talked to the Biden administration at all about vaccine hesitancy or vaccine misinformation?
Well, we did an event actually with the Biden administration, including President Biden himself, with a number of creators, Fauci as well.
I wonder if there's anything that you see in, the way that anti-vaxxers behave on the platform, if there are any data or insights there that could be helpful to people understanding where they're coming from.
I mean, we try to understand what are the different ways that we can break through. So we talked about in this campaign that we did about getting back to the things that you love. So what we really tried to do was get not just from the experts, but also
Bro, they put you through
people
education
that,
camps.
were not experts, but who were explaining
Here,
why did
let's
they
show
take
you.
the vaccine? Why was that relevant for them, and what was their thought process?
Alphabet provided responsive info to oversight, producing internal records, providing extensive testimony, including 40 sets of response and documents. Alphabet, a collection of business. Where's the good part? Yeah. It was unprecedented. Senior official, including White House, conducted repeated, sustained outreach to Alphabet, pressed the company regarding certain user-generated content related to the pandemic that did not violate its policies. While the company continued to develop and enforce policies independently, Biden officials continue to press the company to remove non-violative user-generated content. So do you realize that? That means it was by choice. That's why I got really bothered at this here under Trump, because I said, bro, we didn't break any rules. Even back then, I don't think we broke any rules. It was just bullshit. So it was really bullshit. Blah. So yeah, that's good though. But that's why it is. I mean, it's all good moving forward. But yeah, that's why some of y'all acting though. That's not. No one's mad at you. I'm not mad at you, but I'm not gonna let you act dumb. You don't get to act cute, because if you are, then you're not acting cute. You're a threat, because that was real fascism and y'all didn't say shit and you supported the other side. Let's be real. That's exactly what happened. And then y'all acted dumb because you didn't like a guy. So, but you supported fascism and you would have thrown everybody in the gutter and you wouldn't have even noticed it. So, yeah, we're not, like I said, I don't really care. I mean, we're still here thriving, but at the end of the day, you guys don't get the luxury of acting cute. I know, I don't think they're gonna remedy it. You guys said like class action, but it's impossible to like even put it into perspective, the impact again, because I don't think I got it as bad, or I got it in different ways, but other people, and at the time, and then the consequence, like literally the result today, you are in an environment that was created through those actions. So that's what sucks, because that does, again, like we were talking about, the war on reality in terms of AI and figuring out what's real. Think about it. What you see today is a result of that. So it's kind of fascinating that we're here, but even more fascinating, some people are willfully ignoring it. But 7 minutes to Power Hour, Chattadonia. 7 minutes, and then tomorrow is Friday Junior. I can't believe it's Wednesday. We're not going to have a watch list today. I would probably just talk about LAC. You guys know what to do with LAC, right? All you're doing is you either took your money at the very tippy top when I told you, which was a great, great moment. You could have made it free, or you're gambling to hear if the government confirms it or not. That's it. And so it doesn't matter if it goes up or down in the next couple days, because your decision should be here. You get what I'm saying? And then, yeah, now all you got to do is, if the government green lights, you probably get another 50%. If the government doesn't green light, it's probably going to go down 94% from where it is right now. Ta-da! Well, yeah, you guys don't remember right before the election, I started going off on these rants on how you guys don't really know what fascism is. And I made it a point to like kind of explain. I was like, we're all liberals, you know, liberal economics is fucking dope. So I have no problem with liberalism and economic liberalism. But it was kind of, and again, even Karl Marx doesn't have bad ideas. And some of the stuff he says is pretty true. But usually the implementation is ridiculous. And yeah, there is like nationalism and like right wing. That's a feature of fascism, but that doesn't make it fascism. I was saying this before, again, that's why I was so worried about Kamala, because if there was already that much real fascism, what do you guys think would have I would have been gone. That's why I told you I'd be quitting. What do you guys mean? Do you guys really think that if Kamala won, whether by choice or not, you really think I would be on YouTube still? Like, you guys actually would genuinely believe that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really think that... What do you think was gonna happen? Do you not get it? Like, think about it. You would have gave them a very big green light to just go hard. And it was, they already got away with it with so many people. Literally, you had Google just choosing and all these little secret things going on that you're finding about now. What do you think would have happened? That's real fascism. The government telling you to silence any opposition, that's fascism. Again, just how you would blame Donald Trump for it with Kimmel. I agree with you. But I was saying it when Biden was doing it. And that's why I'm saying some of you cannot be trusted if you only say it when your opponent does it. But yeah, it's terrible, dude. So I would definitely I would definitely get used to the real definition of fascism and understand it. And if you support it in any way, that's terrible. You know, that's why Antifa promotes fascism. Do not be fooled. That's why I think it's disgusting. All of it is. So don't get it twisted either. But I don't think a lot of people know what the real definition is. And we've been saying that. Why they admitted it? Because again, you just saw the shootings and a lot of other things. And look at what I said right after the shooting, and even the Hassans and all these other people, bro. It's like, it's very simple, man. The world we live in, social media wise, is manufactured too. I hate to break it to you guys. They just admitted it with the Google shit. Like, you have no idea. That's why it's like, unfortunately, if you don't have to ban anybody. If you just reset it back to a real algo that favors what people watch and how they watch it and interact with it, not this like political extreme leaning and social this, social that. A lot of this crazy, hateful, fucking radical content, it would not survive. It's not profitable. Let alone is it useful or entertaining. It wouldn't work. That's just the reality. But you have this creator economy that exists that is fake. Everybody's, we've always thought there was influencer bubbles before, but this is just different. It's not an influencer bubble. It's just kind of highlighting that, a lot of there was a lot of censorship that occurred, and that was bad, and it's glad that they're correcting it, but to ignore 4 years of consequences, like, what do you think that did to the landscape? So you got a lot of zombies out there, and I mean like zombie content creator trends, i.e. that they wouldn't have really had real demand if it wasn't pumped or powered by Google or powered by the fucking biggest social media platforms in the world, who have billions of people that they could present or not present content to. You see what I'm saying? That skewed a lot of things for 4 years on drip feed. What do you think happened? All right, tap is going up, but we haven't done shit. We had 2 double morning moves though. You have morning move, pin, flush, pin, and now You might get the move up, but 10 seconds till power hour. It's real manipulation, not fake. The people are real. Impact, division, cast. Yeah, you're right. 100%. But it's just not like real in the sense of you think stuff is popular and you're like, wow, other people think that. Or, oh, yeah, whoa, look at this. But that is fabricated. So it's kind of like Saul, i.e., where Saul was still the king, but the Lord said, you're no longer anointed. He still had power, but he didn't have the anointment. It's the same thing, I would argue, where it's like real, but it's fake. And I think that it's in position of power, but it's not, it doesn't have the authority or blessing as you would think, or that has been lost. Because it used to be that the authority would go hand in hand with it. But now that's what I'm saying, it's false. Yeah, Zuckerberg admitted to it a while ago. He did it early. He did it right around the inauguration. He was trying to get into that inauguration team, bro. Your name is Elon now, Mark. I'm gonna call you Elon. I miss you, Elon. We could have been great friends. Yeah, it's decent. At least it's green. I mean, all the other and then NASDAQ's only down by 0.3. You guys realize at another point, the NASDAQ was down 0.7. So yeah, you kind of did a lot better. It's actually not that bad. Remember, we were down 0.7 at one point. The Russell's still down 0.7. And then all those fertilizer plays are still going. Fed Goolsbee, Trump's trade policies limited his willingness to cut borrowing more aggressively. Goolsbee warns against a series of rate cuts. Oh, that's old. It's 30 minutes old. Yeah, let's see. Move. Yeah, MOS and NTR. The XLE was dope. Alright, man. But power hour, I'd rap a Rooney Chattadooney. Yeah, you got 1 hour, power hour. Like I said, we're either going to do 6,600 or not. I even said it earlier. That was either going to be the bottom or we're going to hit the 6,600. So, either way, I mean, you might stop a little bit shy, but for now, nothing has happened. Again, besides you got a couple of headlines. We caught them early, like Excel and the other one, and then that's it. Where is a long tan? Do you like a long tan? I like a long tan. It's very good. Love you, brother. A non-tax tip. Oh, wow. Thank you. I don't know yet. I actually don't know if it qualifies as a non-tax tip. But I will note that down. I will note that down. Thank you, my brother. Long term, not bad. Long term, not bad. Oh, let's see Colt Sister, too. Let's see how the left side is doing. Wow. She only got 1 share tap.
TKNO. I mean, bonds too got destroyed. I forgot about that. You even had really good real estate data in the morning. I forgot about that. And then open door, but low ticker on almost every front is moving. I'd wait till, what's it called? I'd wait till any of the big tech goes down, but, and then see if staples go up. No, staples are dropping with it, so it may not go down. GPCR, that's a cancer drug. Actually, that's going straight up right now. So remember, a lot of these, what's it called, place? All of these biotechs have gone nuts. I need more pro. Oh my goodness. All right. Wall Street calls timeout on rally. That's one set of propaganda. Let's see what CNBC has. Froth fears ratchet up. So they're all telling you about the bubble stopping all of a sudden. Well, I'm glad we got our play. Do you guys want that propaganda, or would you like to hear 5-year-old Josh explain real estate to you at the perfect time? Which one is better for you? I don't know which one you're more interested in. Is Meta about to squeeze to 770? So I've been told, but I don't trust man. The good propaganda.
A lot of people are buying real estate for a reason. So when you right now, you have to get through about, I think, 1.3 million houses currently. That's all the homes that you have available, but essentially the demand is way higher than that. So until the supply is able to meet it, and now with all the prices of wood, supply chains, all that, it's going to take about 2 or 3 years just to get there. And then we might be able to start talking about a real estate bubble. But right now, there is just simply not enough houses available for there to be a bubble of something. It's not as if people are paying wild valuations and prices for something there's an abundance of. That's what was pretty much happening back in the day. The last real estate bubble, you had people spending way higher than the average price in these little areas that really weren't worth it. And there was supply everywhere, and then that's what eventually led to everything getting collapsed, and then it took a while to rebound. The difference is now you have people paying high prices for something there is a low supply of. So these are all of the little reasons that I want you to keep in mind, but here's just the main point. This is the chart that we started with. If you watch the video I posted, it had to do with the era that oftentimes gets ignored, and that is the 1970s, and this was called the Great Inflation. And now why I brought that up last week, we were talking about stocks, we were talking about even policy and what everything's looking like, and that is because what you're seeing today mirrors that exactly the same way. And finally, what you heard about 2-3 weeks ago, if you heard the CPI, if you watched the news, that was one of your first CPI increases since 2007, the biggest core increase since 1987. So we talked about inflation, prices rising, and then again, understanding that what happened back then is essentially happening now, or you could even argue you're doing it at a way bigger scale today, but you have to see what happened to real estate prices. I'll even explain to you why I got here, but take a look at 1963 through 1969. You saw slight increases. Houses were really cheap. This is not inflation adjusted. I think you could like double it up. It would be like $100,000 or something. I have a little bit more data I'll show you, and you'll be able to see the conversion. But I also brought this up. If you remember, like, this is why people were able to buy houses cheap in like the 70s, and then you look back, you're like, wow, that was really cheap. But what do you notice happens after 1970? You really just start to see the median price skyrocket. Now the green line is the average, the purple is median. So the average does reflect some of the more outliers or higher priced areas. This is just the median home price, which does very well lag certain areas. In less popular areas, even today, you could get well below the median price. In some places like California, you're going to be well above the median price. So average has an interesting factor there, but this is what you got to see. From 1970 to 1980, you saw some of the biggest real estate prices. I will go over some of the data with you, and I have even California real estate from the 60s all the way down to 80s, but like I'm saying here, you're seeing 4% gain in the 69, 1% in 1970, And then right after all of these inflationary policies back then, that's where you start to see real estate go crazy, and it starts to look like exactly what you're seeing. You start to get a 9% year, then a 7% year, then 9.2, then 10, then 20, then 16, then 28. We saw about 30%. So I think we're around like right here because we got that last year. But notice from 1970 to 1980, that 10-year period, you just started to get some of the most biggest and wildest real estate jumps out there. So I really hope you watched my video last week about why inflation can have an effect on the market here, but hopefully you see all of this information. It applies to stocks, real estates, crypto, whatever you want. But I am a big real estate investor and I love real estate, so this stuck out to me.
Yeah, I still think it applies. We did have, you know, big years already. That's why it's eventually gonna have like a couple of stable years. But you know, if you have heard me over the last like just year or two, I have been telling you I've been expecting more stable. You know, a lot of people were, it's gonna do this. I was just saying it's gonna stay the same, go up or down slightly. Now some of the Trump stuff and the rates and all that, it's feeding in either way. But I do think the again, population, supply, money supply, all of those factors are well into effect. So, and then at this point we're like halfway through. I mean, if think about it, 70s, this would be like 1975, 1976.
Oh man,
What a day though, Chad. I hope you got some good ones and get ready to wrap up the week now. Like I said, you should have finalized your plays a while ago. So other than that, game time. And then tomorrow you get GDP data tomorrow. Oh, I have a chart actually that I could show you. I just got reminded of it because GDP's tomorrow. But yeah, here's a chart. Here's like GDP growth quarter over quarter. This is where it's at right now. But if you exclude tech spending, GDP is terrible. So do you see kind of this is something I've been telling you guys about. That's why I'm like, it kind of reminds me of Biden, and that's why it's like there's so much money and then CapEx. But like, look at this right now. So like, just like in 2022, 2023, the economy is slowing down in areas, and like in some aren't, but you got to think about it, bro. These like tech companies and how much they spend between each other, and then even the government, and then you're going to get the BB. I could only imagine if you excluded the government and a lot of that money too. But yeah, like literally, it's very similar to what we saw, and like the tech money helps absorb things. This time around, you just didn't drop as sharply. So, you know, during Biden, the underlying economy with or without tech got pretty weak at one point. But you're doing better now. If you exclude the Nvidia and shit, then yeah, it would have actually clipped negative at one point. Well, it's going to be CapEx and government, and then consumer is just going to add the extra. Everybody else will add the extra wind up and down. Unless the government or corporate gravy train stops eventually. Again, that would be the other risk, but it doesn't look like it is anytime soon. The money supply flatline. It did, and that's what will kind of add to the stability, but the effect already happened. So remember, right when just like the 70s, right when they fucking unloaded all that money and then kept doing it, which we are doing now again too, that's it. It's already there. So like, just like we're saying, that money exists now. It's floating around the houses. There's more people being born. There's slower houses being built. Again, even the same inventory metrics, they're still pretty depressed. So even if the money supply technically went down, or like M2, I would argue the ball has already been rolled down the hill. It's really about the next wall that we're gonna hit. Or again, the inflection point, like during the 70s and 80s, there'll be periods where it will calm down. And I do think the last 2 years of real estate, that's what I'm saying, is that you've just watched
real estate stay stable and compare it to every asset right now, it's underperforming, even though it's not negative. Bro, I hate this fucking new iPhone. Bro, dude, can we go back to the update? How do I de-update my phone? Because I did it to use these fucking headphones and I hate it. It's terrible. Bro, I'm trying to like text. Dude, I'm like trying to respond to somebody, bro. And then I'm like animating all my words for some reason. Like I didn't mean to. And I'm like trying to send a serious message. And now my words are like floating all over the screen and like fireworks and shit, bro. This is fucking dumb. I didn't even say happy birthday. This is stupid. The update is fire? Yeah, if you like Windows Vista. This thing has been terrorizing me. I'm not a fan. I know I hate updating things. I just had, dude, it wouldn't let me. You can't even detect the what's it called? You can't even connect the new iPods without it. It doesn't even detect them. It's very sad. Oh, RCT, was that the one in the morning? Yeah. That's the one that had another NVIDIA thing. Upstart, it's already 200 lows. That did start dumping there though. All right, boys, 45 minutes. I think you've been done. CNC rallied too. That was another good one. TAP came back up. China chilled out from the morning, but make no mistake, Baba is at a very, very key level. I actually kind of want to move one of those. Is there any way to trade the death at the Universal Orlando? More of what comes out, there might be at fault or a lawsuit. I mean, you would short this stock, whoever owns the exposure to the park, but I don't even know what you're talking about. What happened at Orlando? I mean, give me a second, I'll find out. A guest died on a roller coaster. September 18th. Epic Universe theme park became unresponsive and died. Yeah, I didn't hear about that. Yeah, but actually, I mean, it might be bad press, but sadly, it might not even affect the stock. That may be surprising, but there's insurance for shit like that. It's sad and tragic, but I don't think it would, you know, it wouldn't get rid of the company. Well, even just insurance, like, you know, they do have, most of them can't even operate without insurance. Oh, was he? I think the passenger was already, he was already in a wheelchair. Oh, that's sad. So he already had some like other issues, but still, it's like, I don't know. I did not even hear about this until you said that. But yeah, I don't know if it'll hurt the stock, sadly. But I'm sure it'll be a settlement or something. It's just not going to be like, I don't know. You never know with some of these, though. Like, I don't know if you remember, what was it? Because there was some at Six Flags where people died and nothing happened. And then there was like SeaWorld, like a documentary about abusing whales. Fucking made the stock almost go bankrupt. But then again, like Six Flags had a bunch of people die and nothing happened. Even 3M killed, 3M fucked over so many veterans, and they almost got threatened, and that was because it was like negligent and like fraud, and they were like lying, and they like literally went to like a cheap producer. But like theme parks are heavily insured. You got to understand, anything tourism, even like, let me put it this way. Do you guys know how many people die in Vegas in those hotels? Y'all tripping. How come Vegas doesn't get sued to shit? Do you not realize, I bet you somebody dies in a Vegas hotel every day. You just don't hear about it. Like, that's reality. I hate to break it to you. But like, again, it's hospitality, tourism, entertainment. They have insurance, and it's like, you know, not all things are gonna happen. Again, I've had somebody die in my Airbnb before. You know that? I've had somebody die in my house. And we didn't, I don't go in that house anymore, but that's just a personal thing. That's it. I will never go in that house just because I'm a weirdo, but nothing happened. There wasn't liability. The person passed away. They had a heart attack. They were like 90 or 80 years old and died in my house. They were renting it from me. It was an Airbnb. Nothing happened. There was no liability. There was no one was at fault. Nobody tried to find fault. But all of that stuff, you have like extensive insurance. And then, like I'm saying, like Vegas, dude, that's the thing. You guys taught me this stuff with Vegas, because like a lot of Chads work in Vegas. So, but yeah, and you'll hear about it, but people die all the time in Vegas, but like it's bad for business. So, and then it's not a violation, it's not liability, but then they usually just do things quietly, and they, you know, don't want to scare people. How did I find out about it? The guest reached out to us, and they were like, yeah, we're leaving early. Somebody in our party died. And we're like, excuse me? Yeah, they said they died in the morning. They said it was peaceful, but they said they expected it. So, but yeah, that was it. I even had somebody light one of my fucking rooms on fire. I had an Airbnb light a room on fire. So I almost burned my house down too. But that was fine. Everything was taken care of. Trump planning a visit to Japan next month. As two countries coordinate and implement their tariff agreement, the trip to Tokyo. Key ally is not yet official and could still change. Tesla on the high too. Someone died during party? No. Somebody in their party died. Maybe I'm speaking too much like a business, or like I do too much tourism. Like, you know, like your travel party. Like, you know, like in Call of Duty, we're in a party together. Not like they were partying and then the grandpa died. Like, no. I feel bad for laughing, bro. Why are you making this dumb? Stop. Yeah. That's what I meant by the mental energy. Why are y'all will go out of your way to make this fucking dumb? Okay? Man. Nah, he's good. He's good. Why the fuck would grandpa, of course, what do you... He ended up becoming your president. What? No. Which one? Bump. Thank you. I'll be here until they get politically motivated to ban me. That's what I'll be here for. Okay, so get it while you can. Save 10%. Get that crib. It only gets more expensive if I have to keep repeating it. Training a new hire. He's tired of me telling him to get a long term. He's like, dude, I got this new job, and he's telling me to get another job. Trust me, son. The long term is the real work. This work is meaningless without owning. Make sure you know your assets will outpace labor. It's good. I'm still standing here screaming the free world. All right, man. 30 minutes. CO, I feel like that's been going up all day. Watch if anything moves in tandem, Staples Tech, all that. Otherwise, you should have been wrapping it up. We didn't hear anything on LAC except the rumor not getting shut down, which was the only good news. Good news was no news. So other than that, nothing else. You had the China rare earth comment. That was another part. And then the strong real estate data. And then Baba. I forgot. That Baba was crazy. Wrapped. Are you guys going to get a workout in? We're getting a little bit. It's not bad. Ionic. Oh, weird. Back day. Nice. Dude, I've been doing, what is it? The fucking, where you go, it's like on that ab, like the back extensions. Dude, the lower back extensions kill me. Those are what, like, my upper back is good, but now my lower back, those are, oh my gosh. We need to work on those. If PCE and GDP come in hot, do you think they'll start pricing out rate cuts? Yeah, I think that'll kill the bonds. I don't know how much, but yeah, I think that'll be less credible, and that wouldn't be good. And add it to today too, because today you had really, really strong real estate data. So if you get strong real estate, strong GDP, hot inflation, I mean, that doesn't really say let's cut an extra time. I know they're great for posture. I need it. That's why I could tell how much it hurts and like how I feel afterwards. But back extensions, that one guy, YouTube, Instagram, low back ability, he has those like tutorials doing them, and it's like, it's solid. You do like one leg, you do them without weight, and then you add load, but those murder me. Do it. It's very, very good for you. Good for your hips, good for your lower back. Just very like, if you got bad posture, you got like kind of the pelvic tilt, it's brutal, dude. It's brutal. Yeah, I got good upper back and like mid back, but like my lower back is very weak comparatively. That's why Derek saying back day reminded me. Yeah, I fuck with that dude. Low back ability, I fuck with him heavy. You got to, because you can, bro. You could do a lot of rows. You could do a lot of like shoulder raises. You could do everything. Even like my rotator cuff has gotten a lot stronger. I don't have that pain anymore, but the lower back, you gotta spend some time on it. If you haven't, I haven't realized. What do we need to see for credibility to go the right way? The opposite of what I told you would be the wrong way. And then just don't forget corporate and consumer. You know, that CapEx and corporate, that's part of it. You know, that's going to add more or less credibility depending on how well, you know, are they overheating? Are they doing good? Are they pulling back, or are they expanding? And then same thing for the consumer. But as far as data is one of the easier ways we could get, you know, easy signs. And then very simple. If it's low, it's credible. If it's hot, it's not credible. Tap on the high. Oh, that's a 10-cent pop. A little bit more. How about deadlifts? Just depends how much you enjoy your ligaments in your lower back. That's really what matters. Because some people like, dude, like Nassim Taleb, the Black Swan, he swears by deadlifts. I think deadlifts are hideous. I think the risk to reward on deadlifts, it's like, it's worse than options. Like I would choose options over deadlifts any day. I don't like you. I think deadlifts is like playing with your future, like going all in on options. It's the same thing. It gives me the same benefit, same everything. But yeah, I think I can't do the risk to reward. I can't. My mind cannot I've tried it. I've done them, and it doesn't make sense. That's it. I know. Look at you. Sound like you guys start turning into every gambler. A-Lab dumping. Were they the one on the high yesterday? What the fuck? Was that, how many was this already? This was already down on earnings, right? Yeah. Okay, that's just continuation into the low. But like, you guys sound like the fucking gamblers. Look, you're like, no, there's no risk if you do the debit spread. If you do the calendar spread, cover call. If you do the margin, there's no risk if you do it like this. If you take more risk, there's no risk. You don't know? All you got to do is take so much risk, the risk disappears. Here, tell me, what's 5 times 0? 0, exactly. That's how it works with risk. So you take more. You could take 100 times 0, it's still 0. So if you do it like this, I don't trust none of y'all. You know why? Because if I break my back, y'all ain't going to say shit. Y'all need to learn this. You understand that? Even when I give you advice, that's why I say none of this is a recommendation. Nobody, it's your life, brother. You understand? Do not trust anybody. Okay? Because I like my back more than you like my back. Okay? You understand? I wake up with my back. I wake up with the fucking disc, motherfucker. These are my discs. My CDs. Fuck you. So, thank you for the recommendation, but I'm not gonna believe anything y'all say. I hope y'all feel me. They don't feel me, bro. Because they gonna all act dumb. They're like, oh, I guess it was risky. Too bad. I feel sorry. I'll pray for you. What? Oh, now you gonna pray for me? Why don't you just give me good advice in the beginning and then pray for me? How about that? Yeah, so y'all better fuck the deadlifts. I'm here on a public service announcement. I'm here to save spines, bro. I just can't do it. It's not worth it. For me, at least. You could all do it yourself, and that's up to you. Like I said, I don't know the relationship with you and your back. But me and my back, we've decided. It's called deadlift. It says dead in the name, you guys. I'm not gonna choose life, motherfucker. Life lift. I wake up in the morning, that's a life lift. I say, praise the Lord. I can't wait for more life lifts. Amen. How about that? You want a deadlift? What do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna die. I'm just taking it literally. If I do it so much, I'm gonna die. Why? Because it's a deadlift. I wonder what's gonna happen. Oh no, you died doing deadlifts? That's a shock. I couldn't see that coming. Oh man. Why you think all the meatheads stupid? They've been lifting dumbbells. Okay, I'll go. I'm sorry, I pushed it. I see. I got greedy. I got greedy with the. I got greedy. I got greedy, bro. I like the deadlift joke. I got greedy with the dumbbell. I know. I got greedy. I know. I should have made it free. It is only Wednesday. Hey, nah. My special, you guys think I could be a comedian. You haven't realized this is exactly what Charlie Kirk would do. Because you're like, make a special. I'm like, bro, just give me 10 popular opinions and give me somebody who believes in them and let me say whatever I want. And then give me a couple of chads to discuss it out loud, and we will get to a very hilarious truth all the time. So rest in peace, Charlie, and y'all avoid the deadlifts and just start living, bro. Start living. Abdul, yeah, I love it. I want to bring Abdul back. We should take Abdul to the Middle East. No, I'm kidding. Abdul promptly got murdered within 10 seconds. Come to find out, his home country was not as accepting. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Farmer walks? Oh, those are super good for you, bro. Those are the best. Just fucking dumbbells or kettlebells, and then just walk back and forth. That's what me and Olivier would do. That's what we would do, bro. Literally, we would do farmer walks to Justin Bieber's house and then walk back. It's amazing. And then he would shoot us with his BB gun. No, never got to meet him. Farmer Carey. Google had that drop earlier, nothing happened. And then Thermo Fisher. And then Chipotle, dude, what are these moves? I mean, what day is it? 24th, so yeah. Is it the last week or do we get anything? How do I fucking open my calendar? Hate this phone. No, yeah. This is no, you get Monday, Tuesday. So yeah, technically it's not the final. Oh yeah, it's Rosh Hashanah, then Yom. Yeah, so sell Rosh Hashanah, buy Yom Kippur. Yeah. Oh, shit. Remember yesterday I was telling you guys that? I just opened up my fucking Apple calendar. Yeah. So that might be your pullback, and then Yom Kippur is going to be the Santa rally. Or give it like 2 weeks. And then if you don't get clapped by after October 2nd, then before you know it, you're going to start hearing Santa rally. Yeah. So then Tuesday, so literally Thursday. You'll pretty much sell now until Thursday. That might be the only seasonal that works this year. But for now, it's kind of played out. Schwab? Oh, I got bad news about Schwab, you guys. I got the word on the street. You don't want me to tell you. Schwab, you don't want me to say it out loud, Schwab. You want the scoop? You guys want the early scoop on Schwab? It should be public if I know about it. Oh, are you ready? Chadadonia, Charles Schwab. They are looking to get into prediction markets. It's a shame. So I might have to move all that shit to the broker who don't have them. But it's gonna be the same. If they mix it in, bro, and it turns into Robinhood, and you could get all of that in the same one, that's it. So Schwab, y'all add prediction markets. Yeah, you're gonna lose a generation, brother. You're gonna lose a generation. But yeah, they're gonna be last, but they're working on it. People from the company, some people told me about it too. You guys were interacting with it. You think all of them are doing it? I mean, hey, it'll make my job easier. It'll make your results easier. I just feel bad about what it'll do. I feel bad for those who won't listen, but unfortunately, that's just the way it is. The brokers will never be the same, never be the same. Hood ain't so bad now, my brother. You guys aren't gonna realize what I'm saying when shit is good. Do you understand? That's what I'm worried about. And I don't think you guys have let it sink in yet that every time I've been correct. So, just like Donald, bro, I get what he's, I'm right I'm just good at this thing. That's all. You're not, of course you won't feel it now. It should feel good. That's why you like it. It better feel good. Let me put it this way. Anything in my life that I regretted deeply never felt bad at the time. Ever. Felt amazing. I thought some of them were the best. I said, this is amazing. I said, this is God. I said, oh my God, this is the girl of my dreams. This is the best financial invention ever. This is the greatest thing ever. You'll make a killing in the prediction markets. I know. I think I would kill it so hard that I'm afraid I might end up killing my soul in the process. So, you could roll the dice, my brother, but the Lord determines the fall. Why you think I keep rolling it? Ah! Put it in the Lord's hands, brothers. But yeah, watch out. I mean, it's true. 17 minutes remaining. Boy named Certain found a thing called the dice. He could do anything, even catch a knife. I mean, you don't think there's a big difference? You roll the dice looking for something. I roll the dice and thank God. Every time. Believe me, I don't. There's zero emotions, and I hope you do the same. You will. Gambling is going to bring you closer to God, mother effer. You don't believe it? You're playing a godly game. You don't get it? Gambling is a game of the gods, brother. Oh, I'm about to blow your guys' mind unintentionally. You just unlocked this one. You didn't. I don't think I've shared this with you. I've said the first part of it. But gambling is a game of the gods. Now, be cautious. Because the egotistical of you are like, I'm a god, of course, it makes sense. No, motherfucker, calm down. Listen. Imagine gambling, right? This is what I'm saying. It will bring you closer to God. You can roll. The Lord determines the fall. You don't see how people get so emotional after they gamble? Like, watch. Put all the money on the line. You're going to start praying. Lose it all. Feel bad. You're going to start praying, or you're going to get mad at God. That's godly. But yeah, here's the crazy part. What if I change the rules of gambling? Look, think about it. This is why you got to watch out with all you little fascist and crazy people trying to change things. Look at how dumb it is. Look at how stupid it is. Imagine if we nullified gambling. So what if I told you you could place a bet, but then there wasn't win or lose if you could unwind it whenever you wanted, right? Or what happens if you make a bet, but you're not forced to pay? There's no consequence. You've removed the consequence from gambling, my brother. What happens? It's no longer gambling. Think about all of the elements of it. It just, what's the point? There's no joy, there's no fun, there's no scare, there's no nothing, there's no emotions. The moment you remove the consequence, gambling isn't anything. You don't get it? Do you see why I'm telling you it's a game of God? You don't get it. It's very godly. God is consequence. You fucking idiots. I've been trying to tell how many people, and they don't listen. Consequence. God. The Bible, you do this, this will happen. You do this, gravity, law, consequence. You've removed the consequence. There's no such thing as a gamble. You have a consequence. It's all a gamble. Oh, man. Woo! So think about that next time. That's why I say, you get it. Don't be a fool. Think about how much, and now you telling me this generation, and look at, they're gambling and they're not even realizing consequence. And that's why it's bringing them to a different God. They don't know they're encountering it. So what's going to happen? It's going to turn into evil. Ain't that something? The guy that didn't pay you in Halo. Yeah, I mean, again, he violated. It's stupid. He turned into a liberal. Not even. I don't even know what it's called. But just think about that. If there was no consequence, so many things would change. So think about how many people want to change the consequence. And then how many people are avoiding it or not thinking about it. Or imagine making logical decisions but not thinking about the consequence. That's why your next gamble, I encourage you to run through the consequences. You might just see the future. Because that's all the future is, dog. Consequences. Ah! Good day. Good day. You can't get, is that Intel? Yo, Intel again, bro. Whoa, Intel. Hey, yo, we got Intel pop that looks like something. I told you, you just needed me to sell the fucking options, you guys. You're welcome. I have a bunch more still. But still, you know, I did my part. I've been working for the people. See what I'm saying, bro? They don't feel me. Oh, where are these? Alright. What is it? I don't even see the headline. That's 10-minute rig. The dollar popped too, but even the warrant, or the, oh, that's the 2 times. I was like, they don't have warrants. Yeah, Oracle launches debt offering. Georgia launches debt offering. Saudi says, no, it's nothing, none of that. I don't even know what it is. Intel said to ask Apple to invest. If you don't do it, I'll penalize you. Okay, you better do it. Not that it'll make Josh and the cult a lot of money, but yeah, you guys should do it. Okay, I'm only saying that. Okay, you got me. You got me. I don't know how they do that on TV all day. I'm like, okay, fair enough. But yeah, that's crazy. It popped more off of the idea of, it popped like half of the fucking, a third of the NVIDIA move just off of the idea. China agrees to terms of TikTok deal, all parties confirm. That's great. Arm down on that. That's wild. Is that real volume? Because that's a fuck ton of shares. Yeah, that's 6 million shares. That doesn't even make sense. So either Algo bought that or Apple actually just bought it, because that's ridiculous. Dude, what the fuck? And then TSM on the high. Does Pinduoduo have a stake in TikTok? I'm not too sure, actually. They might in the Chinese version. And then TSM is tweaking off that too, but either way, that's going to jack up the longer dated contracts just because that's Apple Premium. Yeah. The short terms didn't move as much. Tap, 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 tap. Yeah, Tap is looking good now. It looks like Bud yesterday. So I'm down with that. I hope that was the bottom because it did get a flush. It's probably going to do this though. So I wouldn't even trip on Tap. Unless you get a fucking buyout rumor all of a sudden, it's probably going to hit one of these bottoms. It might go a little lower than 43. If it does, it wants to go to 41. But otherwise, it'll do something like this is what I'm hoping. Hoping for stability. And then if not, we'll wait till everything else settles. Can we sing happy birthday to your wife? She watches every morning and has a long term. I cannot do that. Well, hold on real quick. Intel reportedly approached about Apple investment, part of broader strategy. Discussions between Intel and Apple are in early stages with no guarantee of an agreement. Oh shit. And Intel has also reached out to other companies for possible investment. So yeah, there's no guarantee, but they're in early stages with Apple. That's a little better. So yeah, maybe that's why there's so much fucking volume. So the full details of it, they're saying it's early stages. But yeah, like I was saying, I can't do happy birthday, but you know, oh, what the fuck? TFC? Yo, Truist. Whoa, shit. Didn't a Chad bring this one up the other day? Oh, it already came down. That just popped up $2-3 and then dropped. That glitched. And then they keep ruining my punchline, bro. I was gonna say, if you sign up, we can offer you the cult special. Happy, happy birthday from all of us to you. We wish it was our long term so we could party too. Hey, happy, happy birthday from all of us to you. We wish it was our birthday so we could long term too. Hey. I love it. You know why? I can say Mrs. Fahar. Mrs. Fahar, happy birthday. And God bless you. You've made our boy a happy man. I don't know if you watch as much as he says you watch, but I watch him every day. You know that? I see what he says. I Chad fax him, and I will snitch. You make him a very happy man, so God bless you, and may your guys' newfound marriage go for a very, very long time with many, many cribs and many, many stocks. And when you give us a nephew, huh? When do you have a babies now, huh? You know the Middle East way. So happy birthday. Happy birthday. Amen, amen. I'm hyped, bro. For real, man. I think it was very dope. I think you got a good woman, bro, and you guys are good for each other. I could tell with how you interact. I haven't got to interact with her, but everything you said, I mean, let me put it this way. I've interacted with millions of people, and not everybody says the same things that you guys say. So, to many, many more, and God bless both of y'all, bro. Yallah. More long term. More cribs. They do. You guys don't understand Middle Eastern culture. At the wedding, they'll be like, okay, now when do you have a kid, huh? When do you make a baby now? I'm like, what? They have no chill, bro. I'm pretty sure they've been asked this probably before they even got married. They were probably expected, okay, day number 1, you plan, and then you have 5 children, 10 children, right away. Habibi. Your dad asks every day. I know, man. Good. Right time. Right time. If you wait too long, we turn into Idiocracy, though. So that was the plot line of that of that movie. A very critical plot line, might I add. Very critical. All right, that's cool though, you guys. Intel just got, I don't know who the other companies are gonna be, but you realize that, right? So Intel and Apple, it's early talks. They said no guarantee, but I thought it was just like a rumor or like they just talked to them. But no, they're saying they had a discussion. So you might get that next week or this week or later, the end of this week, 2 days, or next week. I don't even think they care. I think getting involved in Intel is like it's like a olive branch to say you're gonna build American things. Like, it's the other dowry, bro. Like, that's it. Like, all you have to do is like show that you're willing to make in America. Say, I don't believe you. How do I know you're serious about this marriage? Take the ugliest of my chip daughters, make them a home, and then I will give you no tariff. That's literally what's happening. You don't get it? They're all you get the ugliest daughter, that's the Intel, and that's it. And then this is the story of Jacob, I think. I don't know if you want me to bring the Old Testament into this, but either way. Yeah. On that note, plug your ears. 1 minute! Go, 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 go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and gals, it's time to wrap it up. Bring it home. Finalize those plays. Even Apple, you should finalize your Intel play, Apple. Wrap it up. You got less than 30 seconds. A little bit more data with GDP tomorrow, and then a little bit more on Friday. Whatever we get out of a China bubble or not, credibility. Less than 15 seconds. The government, rare earths in the bubble. Find out on the next episode of The Stock Market Hates You. With less than 10 seconds, traders decide what they'll do, as After Hours will change everything on BS headlines. 3, 2, 1. Ding 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 ding. Horna. Oh, Chadadonia. Are you kidding me? We did it. We made it, baby. 7 hours in the books. I don't care if you just got here or not. I need a good game in the chat right now. Drop that GG, baby. Let's go. It don't matter if you made money or lost money. I know you learned something. I know you got LAC before everybody. Bring it home and wrap it up, baby. Let me get that GG, and the Lord is with you. Be blessing, baby. God bless you. Thank you for not getting banned. Thank you for making it a good place, brother. You know that? You know that? You know how many? I could make a commercial and ask for you to donate money. You know, but you know how many Chads are lost every day? You know how many Chads are lost every day due to censorship, violence, anger, lack of planning, laziness, waking up late. And look at you, Chad. You are the surviving Chads for $1 a day. Not even $1 a day. It's like a 50 cents, it's 10 cents a day. You could save a Chad like you, but you saved yourself, brother. God bless a good day. Thank you for surviving. Thank you for being a part of it. Oh, you're amazing. Good guy. GG. I need me to rock. You won't see me a lot. Monday through Friday, you need me, let's talk. Oh, mama, I just turned a dime to a dub. Chad. That is all. So, God bless you. I hope you had a good day. I think that's it. I think that's all we have, man. You know what I'm saying? IMRX, Core Weave. Oh shit, Intel's going up after the bell. That's amazing. Bro, if Apple and then like one dumbass company does a little capex into this, and then I think the gem was, I'm glad we deposited at the bottom. Right? We paid 10% premium, but now that 10% premium turned into 30. So I'm happy with it. But remember, we put a lot of fucking cash there. So that's heavy in the portfolio on both of them now. So I hope, man, let's hope Tim Cook could drive this home for us. But enjoy your day. I love you all. And thank you for your time. And I hope you have peace in your heart. And I hope you're ready for a lot more. Get excited about the future. And I hope you expect good things. Why? Not because things are good, but because you are you. And your mind is great. And the fact you're even hearing this, I think that's special. So let's use it. Oh, the power of belief, brother. It's game time. What are you ashamed of? Because I know when you have that genius idea, we're going to need to bring it to life. And that shame ain't going to help us, brother. So you should start running in it. All right? All right. Bet.
I'm in a cold. I'm just saying, we the type to say 10%, put it in the crib, and run it to your boss. Yeah, I put God first, not just put him in my bio. I read the whole thing, I ain't memeing from the Bible. Leave with no title, we been eating both cycles. Believing's been vital, what you mean you been trying? Motherfucker, we gon' get it. Does that make you offended? Confident in God and I'm confident in you. Are you scared of the bomb? Are you scared of what it do? Ooh, that's them, not me. I defend, not flee. That's them, not G's. This mama give me. Ain't never been despised. Still a finger to the sky. Peanut butter in the rye. See the numbers never lie. Just revise.
Intel. I told you, bro. I have too many of them. I have to free up liquidity, otherwise they won't let it free. How good. I took the 1,000%er, bro. It was up like 1,100%. I was like, all right, fuck it. And then shortly thereafter, Apple. So Apple is in early stages of talks with Intel. There's no guarantees per the company. And yeah, and then apparently Intel is also talking with other people. Oh shit, people are at the farm right now. They're just texting me. All right, man. Well, either way, I mean, you got the long term, right? It's like we did nothing for 4 months and only did one action right around here. And that's good. So let's to many, many more. And then a couple, and then all the dead money is about to go green too. Around again, 32-ish. So that's amazing. And then, yeah, same thing happened with Baidu is net green, heavy. So God bless America and have a good day. But I gotta go. I got some work to do. We'll probably wake up to more Intel. We'll find out, and then it'll be Friday. Oh, we still have Friday too. It's only Friday Junior. All right. Well, Chad, I love you all, and I hope you have a good day. And I hope you have good desire, and let's go. Oil in the lamps. It means a lot of things. Preparation amongst all, but have desire. Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? Come on. Desire good. Think about how much mental energy and the oil in your lamp you will use to just desire not good or to believe you can't desire. Oh, man. So it's going to be a good day. Didn't I tell you it was going to be a good... Oh! Chad, are you telling me I didn't wake up? I haven't been screaming at you at 5 a.m. telling you it's going to be a good day? Have I not been telling you some good things are about to happen? Okay. Finger to the sky, baby. To God be the glory, and through the grace of God alone. I'll see you in the morning, baby. Peace.
Yeah, hey, is there good things are happening? I'm gonna be the president. No! I am.
I hope not. Never mind, Joe. Take that note. Don't, Josh. Does it apply to Joe? Okay, I guess it applies to everybody. Josh's mom said we're all God's children. I'll agree. I guess. You know what I say about my enemies?
No, not this again. You better relax. Get peace and joy in your heart in the long term. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. I reclaim my